wildcard hopefuls looking to make it into the group stage of the mid-season cup. Welcome to game number 1.
Oh, what a way to introduce our top 2 teams from the wild cards to really show what this matchup is all about in a best of 5 to make up for the lost time of not being able to battle it out. Early on, Cat9 is going to get chunked out, especially when Bober is making sure that Cat9 is forcing out his Revitalize so early on in the game.
Bober. Here you're saying, right, Hylos can deal a disgusting amount of damage, oddly enough, from a tank early on. What a way to counter it, then by exposing it to so much magic damage. Oh my lord, Lanaya put down a half health.
No surprises.
Answers back. This is fine. Pluto's gonna recover. Pluto's going to regenerate off of random targets, skill vamping away. Now, looking at the emblems, how do you build gold lane Kimmy? This is pretty similar to just normal Kimmy.
Well, it is. It's extremely similar in a matter of fact. And I think that the only thing that Super Gorka has to be aware of is when Mikey hits level 4, right? Keep in mind that this is still Master Assassin. If Mikey can catch him off when his passive is down, he can get an immaculate trade against him. He's running the flicker, and same goes with Super Gorka. But now we see first fight actually breaking out here, and Doryu gets locked down, quickly takes a quad shadow out of there as Pluto, and as well as Bober picks up 2.
Whoa.
That's it! Pluto finds it with the help of his passive. Now that Dawn is here, he's looking for a trade back, and he should find Pluto just in time, but here comes Endoryu as well. Can they chunk him out enough? Vengeance already popped. Oki Shadow Kills coming through, and there we have it. They found one, and he might even get another, forcing out the Revitalize out of Cat9. Endoryu backs away. I'm sorry, Mr. Horse. I'll take a step back.
Multiple decisions Endoryu needed to make. Took the long way around to have extra cooldowns on his shurikens, but he was put down to an inch of his health. So did not want to push the issue there. This does put Virtus.pro about 1,000 up. They're 1 kill ahead of Rare Adam as the turtle spawns. No one from the Chinese squad close to the neutral objective just yet. This looks like a clear take for VP.
It should be pretty easy for them, right? Virtus.pro, full control over what they wanted in the map. They've traded well, they've traded up, and now 1,300 gold ahead of their opponents. Where are they going to start bleeding that pressure, right? Because Pluto and Bober, they've done these early engages before. They've invaded the enemy jungle. They have a rough idea where Lanaya is going to be, and it looks like they want to apply that pressure towards the gold lane.
All right, finally we get some action in the gold. XP lane has been moving around. It's really a race of who can get out first. Dawn got 2 on him. Lanaya to the rescue.
Oh, they're trying with Phantom Execution, forcing Backcaught to flicker out of the way. That's a battle spell down for the side of Virtus.pro. No resources being expanded for the side of Rare Adam. Keep in mind, I mean, the Phantom Execution, pretty short cooldown in retrospect compared to the Oki Shadow Kill.
1,500 gold between these 2 squads. Now just about 1,000. Rare Adam making good moves. Again, they feinted the weakness up top, allowed for the failed rotation down bottom. Again, forced that flicker away from Badcaught. It will be out of commission even until the second turtle, so Rare Adam might go ahead and try to contest. Trying to steal away this small camp from Lanaya. Lanaya sitting at level 6. Still at equilibrium with Endoryu. Like, this is not stopping his farming pattern just yet.
Rare Adam's composition allows them to play off of a really big snowball, but at the same time have some pretty decent scaling at the end of the day. So whether they are ahead or behind, Rare Adam, they've got all of those roles covered. Virtus.pro, on the other hand, do they scale as well? I mean, Super Gorka can deal some damage, but he's really dependent on everybody else to do well. Bober, Badcaught, on top of Endoryu, and I would say especially Endoryu.
Interesting choice for a first item, Super Gorka, building the concentrated energy. So I'd reckon he knows he's in for a fight early. Maybe after this first turtle, second turtle, I think he'd want to be part of it. This is where it spawns. Upper quarter. Cat9 sandwiched by 3.
Now they're going to get right on top of Cat9. He's going to get picked up, pulled back in. The passive from Super Gorka still active here. He can maintain the energy charge with the help of the turtle. And this is honestly really good for Virtus.pro, right? Rare Adam need to respect Super Gorka because Kimmy is so deadly early on. They're going to take it slow. Pluto holding on to Sonic. Glorious Pathway comes out for the side of Cat9. Then drops her, catches all 3. And now Dawn with the AOG in the back to slow them down. Powerful. He needs to run. Lanaya as well. They make it out of there. Super Gorka finds one in Cat9, and Dawn is left to dry. The Vengeance is good, but is it good enough with the help of the damage of Powerful? Dawn gets knocked out. Backcaught takes the kill.
Way too much sustainable damage. Whether it be through skills or right clicks, Virtus.pro convert through the roof, taking down that mid tier 1, a main artery. making narrow even more Rare Adam's window to farm. Suddenly they're up by almost 3,000 gold, and a good chunk of that is, believe it or not, on Bober. Bober, what is this guy made of?
He's made of steel so far. In the meantime, it looked like Lanaya wanted to chunk out Pluto, but again, the early game from Virtus.pro is just so much better than Rare Adam, right? Everybody from Gatot all the way to this Kimmy, early to mid game. You just don't have the base damage to compete with these type of heroes.
Super Gorka picking up his Sky Piercer. Pluto now on that Thunderbelt. Wow. This is a very good position for Virtus.pro. They can keep pushing the advantage, giving Rare Adam not the easiest time at all in farming, because the fact that you see Pluto, and the only way you can tell if it's a real engagement is via an ult from Powfu, that makes it very difficult for Rare Adam. That makes you question if it's safe for Mikey to farm. And that's one of their main ways to make it through the mid to the late game. At least Mikey can scale up. Cat9 dropping the Glorious Pathway here.
Oh, they're even dropping everything. The trigger has been pulled. Now, with the AOG to try and disengage, Cat9 as well as Dawn are in a lot of trouble. The damage is just not there as Super Gorka untouched and doesn't have to worry about anything. But here comes Andoryu, finds it, isolation and taken out by Bad Caught. Virtus.pro deny Rare Adam.
Again, it's a understanding of who's the beatdown. I think Rare Adam misread the situation, saying, hey, look, there's an isolated 2 or 3 from Virtus.pro. Let's do it. Fury of the Phoenix. Oh, wait, there's 4 more coming. And then Andoryu from the flank. And instead, they lost out. Not just on bodies, but even the turret, plus the turtle. Everything is going Virtus.pro's way. And Andoryu, he's feeling himself, picks up a Sky Piercer.
That's how you know that they are that far ahead. They've already developed a 5K lead in the back pocket, right? An insurance policy. Dawn, he is not scaling as well as he wants to, especially with the snowball developing further and further for Virtus.pro. Pluto, he's going to take his time here. I think Rare Adam, it's a problem now that Super Gorka has been unlocked from his lane. With all the T1s missing, we can see that Lanaya is trying to split push on the opposite side to at least fight back for the economy.
And this is an effort to let Mikey farm. Give resources to Mikey. He's your only real out. I think the whole Dawn gambit is out the window. Super Gorka left his lane 2 minutes too early. Virtus.pro are playing in the late game now, even before the 8-minute mark. So with that, the lead has grown up to 5,000. Mikey just built his golden staff. And here's the thing. I think Rare Adam are struggling to get Mikey into position to matter. Cat9 is just too soft. Dawn is too soft. The Vengeance only has so much cooldown. Oh, Shadow Kill!
I mean, the Shadow Kill is almost good. RNG not in favor. It's going to be Lanaya who gets out, but they did have to use Cat9's Revitalize to just for some kind of guarantee here. Based on what we were seeing from the items, I do notice that Lanaya actually going for the Malefic Roar. Super Gorka, what a hefty purchase here. Holy Crystal already completed. He is going to be cutting through the members of Rare Adam.
And this is a blessing that Matt. Oh, Andoryu gets caught underneath the Glorious Pathway.
Forcing out the Quad Shadows. Mikey here should be able to secure this kill. No problem. Nicely played. Rare Adam find one, but the T2 down by mid-side is going to collapse under the pressure of Virtus.pro. This is how they've been playing, right? They can play that 4-and-1 style that we were, well, I would say we were expecting from early on into the wildcards, but only deployed now.
And that was, one could argue, a way for them to push mid-tier 2, but they could have taken their time. Now Rare Adam has the numbers advantage.
They're going to try. They're forcing the scenario here. Pluto and as well as Backcall, who, again, just too strong with the lead that Super Gorka has. That Vengeance is only going to buy you 3 seconds worth of time. You're going to get melted down.
So apparently the numbers advantage equals to 5,000 gold. A single hero is 5,000 gold. Rare Adam could not push the advantage. I could have sworn they were looking at Virtus.pro. There's only 4 of you. There's no way without Andoryu will you take this fight. Virtus.pro says, nah. They push him out of the Lord Pit, send them back to their only lane that has a tier 2 up top, and now Rare Adam has no choice but to Ube. They are sticking to each other, clumping up, allowing Virtus.pro to score a Lord uncontested.
Let's see how Virtus.pro is going to try and close this game out. Because again, a big problem we've seen for a lot of wildcards teams is when you have a lead, how do you convert that into a game-winning scenario? How do you break the base?
And there's but one time Virtus.pro struggled to do that against Influence Rage. That is their game 3 in that best-of-3 series. Took him about 19 and a half minutes. Now we're looking about halfway that. 10 minutes in. Holy Defense is still standing. Badcott waiting to get the signal to jump in. No one yet under the spell of Bober. And they pop the Holy Defenses.
All right, popping the Holy Defenses. That's a good start here. We're past the 10-minute mark. And I saw the items. Holy cow, Super Gorka already has 4 items complete. A Sky Piercer being one of them, and even a Divine Glaive. So even your Radiant Armor won't mean anything. Traction Pulse, AOG comes out through, catches 2, however, forcing us with the Fury of the Phoenix, guarantees 1 of the frontliners. Falling Star move catches onto 3. Lanaya quickly with Thorn Rose gets on out of there. He gets pulled back, still able to dash out. No, Bobber catches him. Sky Piercer active. Mikey takes Badcott. Mikey is looking for more. Super Gorka takes them out. Another inhibitor will collapse.
2 for 2, a little messy. I'd reckon Virtus.pro is reading the room and saying, oh, we might overextend. Cat9 still alive.
Oh, no, Adoryu is forced to take the shadow back. Mikey makes the play with the help of Cat9.
Rope-a-dope. Rare Atom used the high ground to their advantage and got a kill onto Adoryu. Again, I think it was more beneficial to take down Badcott. There was at least some bounty on him. But to slow down Andoryu's snowballing, that is also key. He is up 2 levels on Lanaya. I wouldn't even dare to think how much gold is between them. They're still looking at about a 6,000, 5,000 gold lead. Damage dealt, though. Look at Don.
Excuse me?
It's costing him a lot, though. This is off of the back of his constant dancing around and constant use of vengeance.
I agree, but at the same time, well, it's rather shocking that he's almost 10,000, like 9,000 ahead in terms of raw damage.
But he does also top the rankings in damage taken. It's a matter of quality, quantity versus quality. Now Cat9 dropping the Glorious Pathway, all in an effort to just help keep the purple on their side.
And Virtus.pro, they understand, as long as we don't interact with you, we take away your economic, we maintain our economic advantage by ensuring that you starve in your own jungle and put yourself in dangerous positions by walking out to the waves.
Like a medieval castle siege. Time is on our side as long as you're not getting resources. Rare Atom, despite the win in the bottom lane, despite the punish, are still struggling, still going around the map as a 5-man coalition. In comes the AOG!
Powerful, getting hit and taunted as well. Traction Pulse doesn't connect on anybody, but here comes the Fury of the Phoenix to slow down Cat9 as he drops down the Glorious Pathway, but the back line is already dead. Super Gorka is going to take him out one by one, but that vengeance is costing him, Mike just cost him his life. A double kill already, but it's just too late. A triple and a double for Super Gorka and Adoryu as they look to close out game 1.
Clean wipeout by Virtus.pro, first to the board in a best-of-5, 1-0.
Woo, what a way to start the day here. All right, Virtus.pro, they knew that they had the lead. They pressed the advantage, and they ensured that they played the siege perfectly, cracking down on the Holy Defense, ensuring that they get inhibitor turrets early on. And then Rare Atom, the ball's in your court. How do you want to play this?
It's clear that Virtus.pro speak one language, the language of good MLBB. And there was the word on the grapevine that, hey, introducing a Pluto mid-season MCC, introducing Adoryu pre-MSC wildcards will be a problem. I haven't seen it at all. Not once. They've always been on the same page. And I think that's what Rare Atom will be contesting all throughout. The fact that this is a one-minded squad, whether they're ahead or they're behind, and that's why it's so easy for them to finish games.
And I love the first impression that Virtus.pro has put in the draft, right? Because Rare Atom, they come in with the homework thinking, all right, we're willing to give up a couple of these picks, not expecting, hey, we just got less proactive heroes, right? Dawn and as well as Mikey are 2 side laners, none of them having a somewhat winning lane, and I think worse yet for Dawn, having to not only participate in these fights early on, but unable to control Badcott in that lane while Mikey is getting pelted by Super Gorka. It's just, it's a net negative.
And that's the bottom line. They literally just lost the map. It started in mid, and then eventually went to the EXP lane. It was so much easier for Badcott to leave and do whatever, and then again, it just comes to logic that Mikey will also find it hard to perform. And I mean, yes, he has a decent KDA, right? Especially for a losing game. But he really didn't do much. Like those kills were only bought by his team when they really put all the resources to get him.
Yeah, and I think that at this point, Rare Adam have to go back to the drawing board. Hey, we need more proactive picks for our side laners. We need to have something that's able to kind of control that mid lane and more so help us kind of give an idea of where this Kimmy is going, or simple solution, ban out the Kimmy.
Eterna, another impressive showing by Virtus.pro, and I did say I could not predict, but I can't deny the charm that this squad has. Their excellence, their preparation, their flex. Again, first Kimmy Gold.
And we thought it wouldn't work, right? We were discussing about this even from the first day of the wild cards, and then we're thinking maybe Kimmy would be a better pick into the mid lane. But then they saw the matchup. They saw the carry being put into the gold lane, into the hands of Mikey, and they're like, you know what, let's take a shot. Kimmy has better range. She comes online a lot faster as well. And the fact that the Kimmy was already so active around the map just really did not help Mikey. And talking about the gold laners, now, this is where things get kind of interesting because there was an interview that was done over to the side of Rare Adam, and Mikey, he mentioned that, you know, I'm confident in the gold lane, right? Yes, VP is a strong team, but Super Gorka is a mid gold laner.
Whoa. Like a gold laner in no.
No.
I think it means what I think it means. He said that?
He said that.
That's so on the nose, though. I mean, it just makes sense now why the Kimmy was able to be so flexible for him, why he was able to perform at such a high rate. It's not like he was uncomfortable at it at all. He was literally dominating the game.
Exactly. So, things are getting spicy up on stage. It might be a little bit personal coming in from Super Gorka.
Are you sure it wasn't a translation issue?
Look, we're getting the information as fast as everybody else here.
Mid gold laner?
Yeah.
Crazy. Oh my goodness. I mean, it explains a lot, but it just goes to show the flexibility of EECA and how their meta has allowed their players to develop mechanically.
And like, you think you know Virtus.pro. You think you know the picks that are going to come out. You think you know the way that they play. And then the Kimmy gold lane pops up. So who's to say that since this is the first game in the best of 5, that there aren't still other tricks that they have in their sleeve to prepare against Rare Adam?
And here's what's scary. They are 1 win away from match point.
Exactly.
Right?
Championship point.
Exactly. If they go 2-0, the onus is not on them anymore. The onus is on Rare Adam. Like, what else do they have left in the tank? Because you can't beat him in execution. How? Some sort of draft? Is there another Pocket Lunox?
That's a big question, and those questions will have to be answered during the break. Because before we get into game number 2 in this best of 5 between these two regions, we are going to throw it over. So we'll see you in a bit. Stay tuned.
This land is calling.
We're back, boys and girls, for game number 2 in the MSC Wildcards Grand Finals, where Virtus.pro from EECA was able to get their first point in this best of 5. And now the big question is, will Rare Adam, and how will Rare Adam come back from this? Boys and girls, we saw Rare Adam walking back up on the stage, and we heard some yells of motivation. And they have played from behind before, so it should be looking good for this team.
They actually started the whole wildcard run on a reverse sweep. So that set the tone for the rest of their journey to the group stage. So this is no strange situation for the Chinese squad.
They
It's
deserve an
also
award.
exactly. I was about to say it's no stranger for MLBB to get awards as well. So for those of you guys back at home, check this out because it's time to celebrate a decade of greatness at the Esports Awards. It looks like we are nominated for 3 awards. Imagine that, 3, not 1, not 2, but 3. Let me take a look just a second. Esports Game of the Decade,
Bam.
M5 World Championship for
Bam.
Esports Live Event of the Decade. The third is Moonton for Publisher of the Decade. So don't forget to show your support at the esportsawards.com/vote. Put it in right now.
Do it while you still can, because again, these games are only going to get more intense, and I think that the drafts are going to get a little bit faster once these teams get a good feel of each other, right? Game 1, Game 2, it's like testing the water, you know, litmus test. Is it more alkaline? Is it more acidic here? Do we get the blue? Do we get the red? Well, they'll figure it out as the game goes by.
Because of what happened in game 1, Carry and Hylos are no longer 100% win rate.
Oh,
Gutted in their stats.
ouch.
So the stats have become skewed because of how Virtus.pro flexed the Kimi and suddenly picked the Zushin. How do we not see the Zushin, man? Zushin is currently ruining, weirdly enough, teams that know how to play Zushin win with Zushin because she has a very mid win rate. Picked 13 times so far and only won 6. Including the last game.
So
sub 50%.
It's about 47% win rate, closer to 46.
And I think it's fair because of the amount of times that it has been picked up.
And banned.
And banned.
Also true.
And I don't blame you guys because, again, we mentioned this before the break begun. We're like, Kimi, we see the Kimi, insta-mid.
That girl, though, Kimi, has astronomically high numbers. The last game was her 15th game, and that puts her at 12 wins. Do the math, you're close to 81, 82%.
That's a fine win rate, sir. A fine win rate indeed. But it's a big problem that we are seeing right now in the metagame, right? Because, again, mid, as much as people are saying that it's not as diverse as it used to be, the power picks are really in the top echelon of the meta so far. So it's like you can't ignore it, but at the same time, we haven't seen a direct answer to it yet.
Yeah, that's why I'm so determined to think Rare Adam can win and beat Virtus.pro. Again, I'm call me a negative Ned, but I'm already putting myself in that position wherein we're at match point. What else does Rare Adam do? I want to see something else like a Lunox mid. Because that might be the one way that you catch Virtus.pro off guard.
Another pick that I'm thinking of, I mean, this is really digging into the backlogs of what could potentially turn things around. If they have plenty of projectiles, there is one hero that deflects it back at you, a Lolita. Ooh. I mean, we've seen teams use Gata as a means to extend their lead and also to disengage. Why not the Numenon Blast?
It's a triple marksman meta. Like, you're allowed to do that. Where is Lolita? You're right.
Okay, I understand the gravity and of course the value of a Lolita here, especially if we're talking particularly for heroes like the Lunox, but the fact of the matter is the heroes that are very strong in the meta right now, do they not dash a lot? Will they get maximum value from the Numenon Blast? I mean, you guys go ahead and answer that as I'm going to throw it over once again to you boys for the drafting phase, game number 2.
First of all, we're men. Second, it's the same sides. Virtus.pro on blue, Rare Adam answering back. They get the double. Coach Fly Solo taking out the 1-1, the Baksha, and the Yisun Shin, while Rare Adam take out the Farsa, the Kalia, and I would reckon something like the Kimi here or the Zushin last, because is it just me or is Urain Uranus missing?
He is missing. I first would like to identify myself as a boy at heart. But even so, I do agree with you. I think the Uranus is a big question mark. I would say arguably, I feel like, hey, let's give it over to VP, assuming that is first pick. But there's the gamble of, where's the Kimmy? Now, Zushin finally gets banned, and now they open it up to VP. Because you can't get both of their priority picks at the same time unless they've got a curveball ready to be thrown to kind of counter both of them.
And here's what's scary. VP now is wondering, do we first pick Uranus or do we first pick Kimmy? If we first pick Uranus, we give her the Kimmy, and then we give over the whatever, Esmeralda or the Lucas to take us down. But no, they're not going that way. They don't swing that way. They instead go for the Kimmy and give Rare Adam the onus of, okay, you pick the Uranus, because I think Virtus.pro might debut something else to answer said Uranus.
I'm all for it. I'm all for answers to this Uranus. Nobody likes this hero. Well, I'm making a generalization here. I got to keep my personal biases to myself. But I mean, Kimmy,
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
I don't like how slow he is, but I like him.
I think he's dog water. I just hate the kid. I hate everything about him. He just makes me mad. He just gets my blood boiling. But again, that's just pure personal opinion. He is decent in the meta. So far, we see as Kimmy comes out, the potential answer from the side of Rare Adam, hey, we tried the Lancelot. The iframes were decent. We were expecting to see that Lantern come out, but it's just not enough. How about let's just assassinate you right off the get-go?
Yep, already their eyes on whoever plays the Kimmy. They're sending Lanaya over to you. Whether it be Bober, whether it be Stupid Agorica, again, I'd argue an MVP performance in Game 1. Virtus.pro, again, they can still pick a Uranus here, a Uranus plus Uranus Fredrin? Oh, there it is!
Uranus of Fredrin. Truly, two big barricades.
They were not letting go of the Uranus, no way.
Blocks of cheeks to make sure that this Kimmy is going to stay ahead.
A metric ton minimum.
It's too heavy. I feel like, okay, right now, the damage profiling, right? A lot of magic doesn't, well, actually, it makes a little bit of sense here, right? Because there is a natural shred coming in from this Uranus, but that's assuming that the fight goes a little long. Rare Adam, on the other hand, it kind of feels like, based on the performance of Palfu on this Zutian, it's always a disengage mechanic, right? The fights don't go as long as they would like to. They're very dependent on Lanaya as well as Dawn to kind of go in, find that initial execute, get back out.
And here's why exactly Rare Adam first locks in the Esmeralda. I reckon they would not want to waste bans on the Angela, because looking at Virtus.pro, knowing what's possible in the metagame, I think Coach Flyzolo in the back of his mind saying, this is still very Angelable. So they would rather just have the answer in the Esmeralda and not ban the Angela.
And I think there's also one more argument to be made. As much as Angela could be the potential ban and pick it up for themselves, I think that they've got a lineup that's, again, very well designed to take on VP. The question right now is whether or not they're going to have some control in that gold lane, because that was a pretty tough matchup the last time, and VP was specifically targeting Mikey. Hey, you play a short-range hero? Perfect.
And they still are attacking Mikey. In the second phase of bans, Virtus.pro takes away the Irithel. And I think Rare Adam are going to be forced to pick the Mikey hero right here, Red 4. They banned the Matilda, still no clear pick for Pluto. Pluto still has access to
so
his
much, actually.
Minotaur, his, again, an enchanter of some sorts. I'll dare even say, it might be too feast or famine to Angela. I think a Florin works here.
Florin, we might even see a debut of a Rafaela, because it makes a lot of sense, right?
Estes too.
Estes as well. I would say Estes is, a bit on the lower end of the
slow,
spectrum
though.
for me.
Yeah,
mainly because everybody kind of wants to walk forward. This is more of, we fight here, we kind of move as a squad, we convoy together, but it's never really, I'm looking to steamroll over you. Yep. Rafa, on the other hand, can kind of allow you to do that, and it's actually really beneficial for both, well, actually, all three of the heroes we see from the side of VP.
That's right, and still waiting for whoever goes into gold lane. You never know. I think they really are just investing in the whole, are you going to Angela? Because if you are, then we're going to shred through that shield. The carry locked in once more. Giving it over to Mikey. Does he have a bone to pick? Is he just trying to just stand his ground? Is this an ego thing?
It could be he's looking at Super Gorka from across the room. It's just like, one more time. It's best of 3 right here, 1v1.
I said what I said.
I said what I said, sir. Now we go over to Virtus.pro. Let's see how they're going to round off their draft. Because again, the frontliners will eventually struggle against this carry. But then we're looking at the side of Rare Adam. There's a decent amount of shred, a decent amount of peel. They're going to double down with another tank on top of a Moskov.
And suddenly, Mikey has a better combo in Cat 9. We've never seen Cat 9 play a Cho in the wild card. Here it is.
This one's a little wild.
There's only 2 solid kick targets. You want to kick the Moskov, you want to kick the Kimmy. Everyone else is like,
well,
it's gonna take a while.
Well, to be fair, if we're looking back at Mobile Legends history here, Harry used to be a little more burst orientated when you have the items to do so. You kick the tank, you just pop your ult, shred that tank down, throw the light wheel on top of it, guarantee and turn it into a 4v5. But here's the problem. With 3 tanks, all of which having some, well, 2 of which having some pretty decent CC, they're looking to, hey, you kick one of us, doesn't matter. We just need to make sure that your marksman can't get in range.
That's what I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2. Some beats similar to our opener, but an interesting adjustment by Rare Adam, putting a pick-off tank in the hands of Cat 9. Welcome to Virtus.pro versus Rare Adam. We're looking at a possible championship point for Virtus.pro. Let's see how the tempo changes with the hero like Hylos on Pluto.
Now, see, in the previous game, my biggest gripe was, sure, Cho is good, but you are on red side and you had 4th pick. You could have picked up Cho for yourselves, and I think this helps out the mid lane so very, very much. The biggest problem is you need somebody who not only has mobility, but is capable of also taking the concussive blast. The less time you interact with Bobber on this Kimmy, the better.
And it looks like Rare Adam know that. Instead of spending less time, they want to bear down on this mid duo from Virtus.pro. Technical knockout right now on Pluto, forcing the Revitalize, sending him home. Down bottom, we've known this matchup for too long. There's never enough time for them to leave the metagame, but here we are once again, the Esmeralda versus Uranus. Top lane, though, look at this, a duel, a gold lane duel.
Whoa. Super Gorka made a mistake, almost getting caught by the light wheel. That might have been a quick battle spell on top of it. Luckily, is still alive, doesn't lose out on his Purify, and even when we come down to the mid lane, the congestion, right? You can see everybody wants a little bit of both Bobber and as well as Powerful. If you can punish Cat 9, that's great for Virtus.pro, but Rare Adam, they don't really care about Pluto particularly. They want Bobber.
And Bobber is holding down the fort. He is staying underneath turret, hugging that thing, and he's trying to buy the mid game, trying to buy this first turtle timing for Virtus.pro. Pop in that vengeance already.
They need some hell and praises. Rats already come through. Are we going to see a commitment for the full fight? Lanaya finds 1. Fury, the Phoenix looks good, and Doru, he's 1 HP. Cat 9, he's going to try and gets the kill, no problem. Back on, he needs to hold on. Traction Pulse doesn't connect onto Cat 9. Bobber tries to close the distance, but it's too late. Powerful, no passive. Lanaya misses out on that quad shadow, but it doesn't matter. He still has the shadow kill. Powerful flickers out, and back on is going to get kicked the opposite direction. Saved by the bell. Pluto gets him. Fallen Star Moon does come up in time, and Lanaya takes the turtle. Things did not go well for Virtus.pro.
And this is what we were alluding to in the opening of today's broadcast. Rare Adam, one of the few ways they can win against Virtus.pro is if they make the EECA Grand Finalists overextend. If they give Virtus.pro a false sense of security, thinking that, hey, we can win this trade, keep going. Rare Adam punished Virtus.pro so hard. The fact that Pluto came in and forced something, I don't know what they were doing, wasting precious seconds trying to contest, trying to stop the inevitable. Lanaya walked away with so much, 1,500 now, 2 kills on Lanaya, and he's a full level ahead of Andoryu.
But it doesn't mean that Virtus.pro is completely out of game, right? A couple of kills to Lanaya, not the biggest of deal, but back on, he's starting to feel the pressure, right? Now that Don has an assist over him, despite dying, he was able to actually come back in time to catch the wave. But now we see Cat 9 as well as Mikey. No Way of the Dragon. Fury the Phoenix already coming out, and now this is a full-blown fight. Lanaya gets taunted just in time. Powerful takes out Pluto.
He had no Revitalize. It was about 7 or 8 seconds off of cooldown, and that's mid. I think twice happened now in 3.5 minutes.
Oh, the kick's good, but again, the damage, it might not be there enough. And Dorio's so low, he's gone. Lanaya takes him out with the help of the OG shadow kill.
Virtus.pro can't put a beat on Rare Atom. They're just way too mobile. This is the price you pay for having a lineup that invested so much into frontliners. And one of your frontlines right now is just preoccupied. He's too busy dueling with another sandbagging hero. That's a dead lane down bottom. So that means if Rare Atom wins mid, nothing's happening down bottom. They got the turtle. They own the rest of the map. Virtus.pro now down about 2,000.
The big issue here, wait, hold on. Traction Pulse is going to pull down, but he's able to get the falling Star Moon animation off just in time. The issue is that Bobber must follow Andoryu around. He needs his frontliner to protect him. Wait, Glorious Pathway getting called here. Powerful, as well as Cat9 going to be visible on the map. Lanaya is going to take this out, but Cat9 finds the kick onto Bruto's side. Revitalize is already popped. Shadow Kill hasn't been popped as well. He goes into the backline, gets on top of Bobber, gets topped in by Andoryu. Great heal for the side of Virtus.pro. Bobber still alive. Appraiser's Wrap comes on to 2, but it's just not enough. Rare Atom is just going to mulch them. They have too much gold in the earlier stages, and now, just in time, as we see the plating collapse, they're going to take mid-tier 1. Oh, 1 HP. It's as good as gone.
They hold onto it, but for how long? Super Gorka pops the SOD with just enough time to save him. That took away precious gold, precious seconds that was free farm for Super Gorka. I would reckon they should have just kept Super Gorka elsewhere.
That's what I was thinking, right? Why do you need to participate in this particular fight right now?
Virtus.pro, 5 minutes in, seeing what Rare Atom has done to their lineup. And again, this is execution as well of the lineup that Rare Atom has done so much better than Virtus.pro. The ECA reps, they're just too honest. It's just so clear that we plan to put meat between you and the Moskov and the Kimi. And if you do anything to stop us from getting there, this is a non-starter.
Well, that and also Rare Atom also are making the best out of the scenario, right? They've adjusted very, very well. They're making sure that, hey, if we're going to get first rotation, we're going to guarantee some economical or at least experience damage on the opposite side. Look at Badcott. He's a full level down on your boy Dawn, who, again, is about to hit level 10, while Badcott just caught up to level 8.
And the rest of the map is crumbling. The first turret falls. Funnily enough, that's in the top lane where Mikey is. You don't want to see this when you're Virtus.pro. Oh my lord, Lanaya comes in, shadow kill!
It's good, but Andoryu, he's looking to peel for Bobber, forcing Lanaya to back off. That's going to be a big ultimate down, especially since the next turtle is about to spawn in the next 6 seconds.
Rare Atom, they're not attacking just Bobber. They're attacking the Kimi very specifically. No shadow kill, currently on Lanaya. Does ride Badcott into the turtle pit. Now at half health, Rare Atom bursting this turtle.
Oh, the Glorious Pathway is already coming up, forcing out the Fury of the Phoenix. Dawn is able to maintain his position as Mikey takes out Badcott. The kick seems to be good, but now they're going for the shadow kill. And now Andoryu with the Appraiser's Wrath is doing basically nothing. Mikey can tank the damage while still pumping it out against Virtus.pro. The punishment.
The carry is just too good. They got her out of that lane, got enough items on her, XP on her. Truth be told, it's mostly the kit. She only has 1 item. It's really just the corrosion side that's doing the work here. He just built that golden staff on his way to the Swift Trinity, and he's up by 1,500 gold. Super Gorka, we haven't seen him do nothing.
Yep, and it doesn't help the fact that as much as I want to deny your anti-heal, Mikey doesn't even have DHS. Not to mention that with the glowing wand, you do lose out on sustainability. Cat9, whoa, taking the second half of the way of the dragon. Pretty surprising. It looks like Dom with the falling Star Moon is going to get involved. Powerful is nearby. Mikey pops the light wheels and now takes out Andoryu. Glorious Pathway. Too late. They see the blind side, but the damage has been done.
Over on the other side of the map, you see Badcott just working away at that tier 1 up top. Does get it done. Mission accomplished, but at what cost? The bottom lane tier 2, the rest of the map. Virtus.pro, now their macro is being tested. They've been so good at team fighting. They've been so good at executing on a 1-to-1 basis. But what if those numbers don't favor you? What if you're not allowed to flex on your opponents on a favorable ground? Like, we haven't seen Virtus.pro do this in quite a while in the wild card.
Yep, and it just goes to show that the adjustments from Rare Atom are extremely effective, especially after winning out the first collision against Virtus.pro. Deny that mid-trio, make sure that Pluto isn't exactly in the best position to start peeling for your team, and now you can see that the side lanes are having a good time. We finally see the War Axe in the DHS, Trinity complete for Mikey. This is a huge problem for Virtus.pro.
Just about a single kill on Rare Atom, and it was on Dawn. Dawn is happy to be of service that way. He would any day throw himself at Virtus.pro. All this while, Cat9, what a revelation. It could be because of the nature of Virtus.pro's draft, but his kicks are so significant. His kicks are at least guaranteeing a kill per activation. Now the dance has begun. Rare Atom first to the scene, putting it at almost a half health. What's Dawn doing here? Pushing them back. Fear the Phoenix.
He's looking for a potential attack. He's looking for Kao Baba. He gets hit. Mikey with the flank as well. Now Pluto's the next to fall. This entire fight collapsed before it even begun. 13-1. Might just turn to 14-1 if they catch Badcott.
Badcott's out of here. He pops the Consecration just for good measure. Still has a Purify. Would be completely his fault if he died here. This is just damage control right now for Virtus.pro. This is the total opposite of Game 1, Gideon. This is a total disaster for Virtus.pro. This looks like a different team playing, I'll tell you now.
It is. Rare Atom stand their ground and tell Virtus.pro, we're not going to make it easy, and we're going to show you what dominance looks like. They're going to take their time, though. They were trying to sync up the waves. They've got top and bottom about to collapse at the same time.
Rare Atom are a full 10,000 gold ahead. Lord marching in mid. Holy defense is popped here. This is a confirmed penetration. Bottom and top are going to lose their holy defenses too, and Lord crashes in.
Yep, mid inhibitor now being threatened as the Glorious Pathway is going to get called. They need to clear this up. Super Gorka making sure that he's positioning well so the piercing might even hit some targets in the back. The wave clear is very nice from Virtus.pro. They maintain their inhibitors, but there's still the second wave. Cat9 trying to peel, shouldn't pose in the time. Oh wait, no, with the Fury of the Phoenix hitting, all four members are gonna go down. Mikey's able to take the inhibitor with the help of the Ogi shadow kill. They're done for. Rare Atom 16-1 collapses 2 inhibitors and now are looking to go for the end.
Just but one turret left, and all the waves crashing in. It's a wipeout. Virtus.pro off the map.
What a turnaround here. Rare Atom punching back, saying, no, we stand on solid ground.
1-1. We're going the distance. Not so fast, says Rare Atom. Taking down Virtus.pro in quick fashion.
Oh my goodness. These fights were so decisive, right? They were so quick to happen and very clearly trying to target the key components from the side of Virtus.pro. It seems that Ryzen has figured out the recipe that Virtus.pro has been cooking up all this time, finding them the success within the wildcards to steamroll through the competition.
And it was scary. Coach Ryzen allowed for Virtus.pro to pick the Uranus. Coach Ryzen did not choke out any specific strategies or heroes from Virtus.pro. If anything, he allowed the Angela if you wanted to, right? You go ahead, pick Enchantress Roamers. We don't care. Hell, steal Cat9's Hylos. You just unlocked our Cho. This is Rare Atom showing one of their strengths, man. Preparation. They were ready to play this way. And if anything, 80-90% of this was preempted. They baited and they deceived Virtus.pro into playing this way.
I totally agree, but had Virtus.pro just played a little safer in the earlier stages of the game, I think they could have prevented a lot of the damage, right? Because this started to snowball out of control. I mean, let's start from the very beginning. It's all about this mid domination, right? Making sure that Pluto doesn't get to walk around for free. That Bobber is constantly having to look over his shoulder. Is Lanaya going to jump out of a bush at a random time?
It's that second point, I think, that really was the nail in the coffin for Virtus.pro. Rare Atom straight up made Bobber on the Kimmy a melee hero. They were making him fight right here in your face, about an inch away, and he couldn't breathe. They would not respect his personal space, and that led to the win.
It's the inside boxing style, you know what I'm saying? Go for the body.
In a telephone booth.
In a telephone booth, elbows ready to be thrown. Maybe a illegal move in professional boxing, but in Muay Thai, it gets brutal.
Like this.
Yes, sir. It's really tough to see, but it just goes to show that Rare Atom is prepared for this match.
Eterna, it seems like it's a different team that played. Virtus.pro, I did not see any of their execution excellence. I did not see much of the flow that they were exuding in game one. What did you see?
I'm glad we're talking about that, and I'm glad we're at this point because I do agree with what Gideon mentioned before the game even begun, right? Straight after game number one, Gideon was like, you know, this might just be Rare Adam testing the waters, figuring things out, and maybe taking a little bit more of a sneak peek into what Virtus.pro has to offer. Because like you guys mentioned as well, this is the first time that both of these teams have actually met. I gotta say though, Rare Adam, perfect at deception. We thought that Cat9 could only perform on the Baxia as well as the Hylos, and I think Virtus.pro were also banking on that fact, brings out the Cho and does exactly that. I think Cat9 was a big impact in the early game to make sure that they were able to get the early game snowball that we saw in game number 2.
It was just too good. I can't even name an MVP, honestly. Looking back, might even be Cat9. Might be one of the main reasons why Bober couldn't breathe.
Yep, I would say Cat9. Cat9 or Lanaya. Both of them had some really good target prioritization. They really had to weave through the cracks to make it happen.
The crazy thing is, you know, the two cores from the side of Virtus.pro, they brought Purify. So you would think that, you know, face value coming into the game, nah, no way Cat9's gonna get these picks, no way. And then he figures a loophole around it, making himself still relevant in an arena where it does not favor you. Wonderful adaptations coming from Cat9. I'm all for it. I hope we go all the way here, best of 5.
If that's the case, if we want to see them go all the way, I think we throw it out the window, any clause of a download game. Honestly, I didn't think Rare Adam would be the kind of team to look for a download game, but hey, if it's a team that you've never fought in the wild card, do what you gotta do, and here they did. They allowed for game 1 to, you know, go the way it did, and then they won swiftly game 2.
I think that's fair, but I still think that at least for this squad, keep it up. Keep up this pressure. Let's see whether Virtus.pro are the ones who now have to adapt.
It's all going to come down to this because they are one game away of getting to championship point. And it looks like we are going to go to a short break before we get into game number 3 between Virtus.pro and Rare Adam. We'll see you right after. And we're back here in Saudi Arabia for the MSC Wildcards Grand Finals at EWC 2025. Back on the English broadcast with me, Eterna, as your desk host for this match ahead. And of course, with me is Leo and Gideon once again for those of you guys who's just tuned in. Now, in this best of 5 Grand Finals, we are 1-1. It was Virtus.pro leading this best of 5 series, but Rare Atom do not want to go down without a fight, coming back in game number 2 in a very decisive fashion. Now we get a chance and some time to kind of break this down a little bit more. So boys, game number 2, what adaptation should we be looking at for game number 3?
Personally for me, if I'm in Virtus.pro's side, that Cho needs to go. Because again, Cho, one of the few heroes that has so much influence when it comes down to the laning phase. Whether he is stuck in the mid side of the map or whether he decides to kind of wander off and do his own thing, right? The vision game is always great, but the pressure that he applies just by his presence alone, and most importantly, because of that concussive blast, hey, you want to have an interactive lane? Cho shows up, oh, man, it's just a pillow for it.
I think Rare Atom have truly reintroduced themselves with this Cho. And suddenly, Virtus.pro, I don't know how much of their prep and how much of the research is currently invalidated because of what happened. So that suddenly now makes you think, is Virtus.pro ready for this? Do they have a contingency for the Cho? Or does it come down to really just banning it out? Because if they do ban it out, then suddenly there might not be room for banning the 1-1, might not be room for banning the Matilda, might not be room for banning the Kalia, which opens up a whole new avenue of other things to worry about, which now comes out to one of Rare Atom's strengths is we know they're very good at prep and punishing. P and P.
P and P from both sides. But then that does kind of bring the question, right? If we're going to hypothesize of if, let's say, we're not going to ban this Cho, what if Virtus.pro picks it up for themselves? What do they utilize as a potential flex pick for the EXP lane alongside their supports, right? Because that's something that they've been doing on blue side for a long time. Hey, we could flex this Kimmy. Why not the Cho as well?
I agree.
We haven't seen XP Cho in a while.
We haven't seen XP Cho in a while, but Dawn, in both of those games, every time we've seen, hey, it's just another Esmeralda. Well, let's not interact with the Esmeralda. Let's full tank Cho, concussive blast, clear the waves, move over.
I like that you mentioned this, right? Because as you were talking and discussing about downloading the blueprint coming in from Rare Atom, we were coming into this understanding that we also know how Rare Atom usually drafts, right? It's usually the Dawn Flex in, I think, Red 4 or Red 5. And funnily enough, it has always been Dawn's heroes picked up first today.
Yep.
So that is kind of strange because usually they utilize Dawn as a flex pick to see how they will be able to get Dawn a winning lane. So the fact that now Rare Atom are coming into this with a new set of blueprints and a new download that Rare Atom really needs to, Virtus.pro needs to think about, that's going to put Virtus.pro in a position where like, okay, we only have a few minutes to think about this. What else is a strategy that we should be looking at? And you did mention the Cho takeaway, but do they want to do that just to deny the Cho?
Here's my solution. Right now we see that at least for Rare Atom, where they are attacking in terms of the draft is that mid lane. You have mid control, you're able to start influencing the side waves. And more importantly, if you have priority picks, because you understand, hey, in terms of your priority list, Uranus is number 1, and therefore Kimmy is also along that same path. If we give you one or the other, we can skew it into our favor, which is why we see Dawn having, we know that they want the Uranus. We can guarantee an Esmeralda for ourselves later down the line. But more importantly, we are able to control that mid. Therefore, we can start putting our resources in different spots. Because this is all readable once you understand your opponent's priority list.
And the high priority on the Uranus
and the Kimmy.
And the Kimmy for Virtus.pro might now become a weakness. I think they have to recalibrate and reorder the way that they care about these lanes and put it in mid. I think they really need to take care of Bober. Bober and Pluto, that is the heart of their lineup. Super Igor can take care of himself. Andoryu, dude, Andoryu survived a 5-ban draft. He's fine, he'll be okay.
So if we were to dumb it down just a little.
Okay.
Let's dumb it down just a little. Let's keep things simple. So mid trio is an important aspect in this match.
More than just mid trio, mid duo.
Yes.
Mid duo. So we're looking at the roamer and the mid laner.
Correct.
Yes, because in terms of the flexibility, who gets the most flexible spots? So far today, we've shifted from Dawn all the way down to Mikey, right? Because Mikey is the only person who's like, oh, I can deal with all of these tanks if I get the carry, but I need to make sure that the lane is somewhat viable for me in the first place.
That the map is somewhat acceptable for me to flourish in. That's what was wrong in game one. Like he could not do anything. The time that he could do anything, it was too late.
So technically the Kimmy was okay.
The Kimmy was actually perfect in that laning phase.
So the high-lows is what we're kind of nitpicking on.
I mean, they had the triple tanks in the first place, and it's like, okay, you want the high loss. You already had the Uranus on top of having the Fredrin as well. Doubling down on that high loss, I wasn't so sure whether that was the play. Because considering that Kimmy was already shown on that red 4, so it's like you're playing into yourself at that point.
So I think in game number 2, Virtus.pro were too busy trying to counter Rare Atom and not enough thinking about what they wanted to do in the game. Because have they picked up the high-lows in the roam?
Quite the opposite. I think they cared too much about what they were doing, and they got blinded by the fact that Rare Atom was not going to take this line down.
I totally agree with this because they were confident not only in their laning phase, but I think they also tend to forget, like, oh wait, our composition is actually very good early on, but that Cho gives the tempo over to Rare Atom, so now we can't make the first move.
And I rarely use this term, but there's a modicum of disrespect the way that they drafted that. It was like, yeah, we'll draft this way. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, you could lose quickly. Because they did not expect that, oh, we will lose all 3 lanes this quickly because of what we lack in mid. There was not enough dynamics. They were just way too monotone. It's just like, we are tanks. We are.
Yeah.
We got marksmen in the back. Like, it just doesn't work that way.
They didn't have a lot of tools as well to work with. Maybe Pluto's not used to it. I mean, technically he has picked up the Florin, and technically the Florin isn't a playmaker per se.
He played Arlo.
But usually we do see a flex in either one, right? If your EXP laner is a beefy guy who has no tools, usually we see someone with tools in the roaming position. Do you think that was a problem?
Well, here's a couple of smaller issues, right? Because I do agree that if they had an Enchanter supports, a lot of things could have been alleviated, right? Especially when it comes down to the mid lane. Oh, you may push out faster, but I'll make sure that you are too low for your regenerate to give you any value when you start moving over to the other sides. Like, I think that Cho would have been put down to 1 HP if you just had a Rafa on your side to start punishing your opponents. And not only that, I think with this Cho pick, you could see that a lot of the battle spells turned into Purify. And we saw that Bobber, it's not like he wasn't uncomfortable dealing with a Hayabusa, it's just that when you don't have the flicker, there's no guarantee of just flickering out of the Oki Shadow Kill, which we've seen him do many times throughout the wildcards.
Again, it comes down to dynamics. Like, they did not have enough things to do to answer what Rare Atom put out there. And instead, they took it lying down. They're the ones just like, all right, I guess.
All right. Haven't been in this position a lot of times before, but...
Exactly. They drafted the lineup that isn't playing to their strength. Because they're so good at team fighting. They're so good at activating each other. But when you commit that much to Revitalize and Purify, then that's what happens. Like, they didn't fight back at all.
So, will they be able to fight back in game number 3 is going to be the question, because before, once again, we head over to game number 3, we are going to give some players a little bit more time, a little bit of room, because again, the stakes are ever as high. That's the last key to the MSC group stages. And with that, you guys are watching the MSC Wildcards Grand Finals. We'll be right back after this break.
This land is calling. I stepped into a realm of wonders where the sun kisses the sea. Two worlds inspired by each other. Two worlds making one. This land is calling, Saudi Red Sea.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Just trust me, okay? We just have to follow the MSC history footprint.
Is it MSC this year? As in Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Why are we trekking through the jungle?
MSC started off in the tropics before it started to take over the world.
Yes.
Oh, guys. This simple. It matches the QB frequency. I think we're getting close. You guys hear that? The format is calling me. I can feel it in my gut.
Not your guts. You just skipped breakfast.
Guys, look. 8 different warriors, all from distant lands. One sacred path.
Oh my, Japan is back.
Oh, 8 teams drawn into 2 groups. GSL format with BO3 matches, but at the end, only 1 team advances. We have to find the next piece first, because then we get to write the story. Imagine it. LaFell's MSC 2025 Fury Pro Max Plus. Ain't that good?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
It's okay. I got this. What's that? Great Scott! It's the group stage format! The MSC 2025 group stages is going to consist of 16 teams broken into 2 groups, each group balanced and regionally diverse. So all teams will be drawn into 2 seeds, and teams from the same region can't be drawn into the same group. Groups will then play a BO3 double elimination. Teams with a 2-0 record and teams that survive with a 2-1 record will then advance. 8 teams will then fight for the ultimate glory.
Is this still a group stage or a group elim stage?
Well, it's kind of both. It's the best of both worlds. Maybe we're intentionally lost.
Oh, you mean like the time a strong team lost to a weaker team? They claimed it was a strategy to go down to the lower bracket for a more dramatic comeback? Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes.
Oh, look! That seems like a shortcut to the finale!
Perfect! Now we can solidify the format before they even get here. Let's go! Brigida, let me teach you something. When you see something shining, you smash it. I found it! The sacred format ahead of everyone else.
LaFell!
From now on, you can call me LaFell, the great format discoverer.
LaFell! I think you broke the format.
Oh, we can still fix the format. Thank goodness I'm not with you this time. Don't touch anything else, LaFell, no!
Let's look at the knockout stage.
The MSC 2025 knockout stage
2-0 teams will get to choose which 2-1 team they want to face.
Will the 2-0 teams just pick a weaker team for a better matchup? Or they could just fight a tougher team just to flex? The real question is, which team gets to choose first? Most game wins or shorter game time?
We're gonna have to wait until we get to Riyadh. Until then, let's have a look at the playoff bracket.
Quarterfinals and semis will now be best of 5. Oh, and there's now a best of 5 third place clash before the grand finals.
Final best of 7 to crown the ultimate champion.
There you have it. The MSC 2025 format, wildcards to glory.
Yes!
One game away until championship point here, the grand finals of MSC Wildcards 2025 at, of course, EWC. Back with me again, Eterna, alongside with Gideon as well as Leo, as we are jumping now into game number 3. And it looks like the players are already at their battle stations, ready to perhaps go straight into the drafting phase. So, before we get into that, what are the heroes that we should be looking at? Just a little bit of a refresher, a recap.
Number 1 is a Cho.
Yep, number 1 has to be the Cho. But we still also have to remember, Farsa's still a priority, Kimmy's still a priority. It's been consistently banned every single time. The question is whether or not the Uranus is going to be utilized as a bait pick.
I think the Uranus should slowly go down in prio.
Really?
He's gotten answers. It's proven that he doesn't help a losing matchup win. Not very good on the back foot. So yeah, maybe save him for the second phase, or just straight up ban him. Like don't try to play deception and try to lynch it on a singular hero like Uranus. There are better ways to spend your picks and bans.
You look very expressive about this.
Oh yeah, I'm loving.
You don't like
everything.
Uranus?
Yeah, I don't, but I'm loving all the comments being told about Uranus from Leo here. Eventually, he's going to be on my side about this. it's great to see the way that the teams are playing, but the adjustments are extremely important.
So, will the adjustments be made right here, right now, as we get into the drafts for game number 3 between Rare Atom and Virtus.pro? Leo, Gideon, you guys know what to do.
What a switch up. Rare Atom now on the play. Virtus.pro gets a double. I'd like to think this is a great way to adjust. No longer are they going to get blindsided by that red 5. Not like it was really much of a problem. A lot of Virtus.pro's issues in the draft for Game 2, they walked into straight up. They just took it in the chin.
Yep.
Now, they could be more careful.
At least now they're regaining their composure, right? You know, they're not as wobbly on their feet. Their knees are not weak anymore. And I don't think they want to take too many hits to the chin now after game number 2, because it's clear that Rare Atom, once the plan is actually going along in their favor, that's where VP, it feels like, man, we can't do what we did previously. We can't just outplay them to win the game. This is a team that can actually go toe-to-toe with us.
And I think that's one of Virtus.pro's real strength is their execution, right? If you end up with a draft that you cannot play with, again, capital PLAY, play with, then that's a non-starter. You're not getting anywhere. That was the story of game number 2. Now in 3, when you're in red, you usually have the onus of just banning things you cannot deal with because you're allowing your opponents to get that powerful first pick. And here they say, we're drawing the line on the Baksha, on the Uranus, and I would reckon if Pluto doesn't want to play it, the Cho should be red 3 ban as well.
We see that the Zushin is going to get banned. The real question is whether VP is even going to double down on another mid pick. Because again, these are heroes that they're more than happy to try and utilize against their opponents and what they think is the creme de la creme when it comes down to meta hero picks. And if that is going to be the case, do we have to hold up our bans on that mid? Are they banning out the Kimmy? Are they banning out the Zetian? Or are they just going to say, you know what? Let's just go straight and attack the junglers, right? Because that was the initial plan from Rare Atom. I take away the land slot, and therefore you play whatever you want.
1-1 is still open as well. No matter what happens here in this red 3 ban, there is a hero that we usually do not see that comes through. And they instead ban the Zetian.
Are they banking that powerful? Is it going to get prioritized in picking up the Kimmy within the first
pick? Literally just the first pick.
Oh,
and it's true, they do.
What a call. Okay, great stuff coming up from Real Solo, aka Fly Solo, for those of you who are following the international space for a long time. But the Yishin Shin pick does open up a lot of options, right? Because I think VP were more than happy to say, hey, even if you do pick up the Kimmy first, we know that you want to go for Fredgen almost immediately after, right? So now, VP, they can pick both up right here, right now.
They can go Kimmy Fred, that's right. They can also actually just 1-1 Kimmy. As greedy as that sounds, because there's no real predator for the 1-1 right now, except for the Phoveus. Instead, an early investment in the Arlet.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
We don't see Arlet this early.
Yeah, we don't see Arlet this early, but I think it looks like Virtus.pro has pivoted their priorities from, okay, maybe Rare Atom understands that that the mid duo is going to get affected for sure, but now we see that Rare Atom, again, really strange to see that Lunox getting blind picked here to a composition that we don't even know whether VP is going to double down on that tanks, but we'll have to deal with the Kimmy at a bare minimum. But they're going to back it up with at least the Cho to say, hey, early game damage, no worries, clear the waves, move on.
Just yesterday, Rare Atom won with a mid Lunox, given it was supplemented by a Baksha Roam. Here with the Cho in the hands of Cat9, again, he's just going off of momentum. Had an amazing game number 2 here. I wonder why this is the decision they made. Again, you're right, it's blind. Like, they don't know what they're throwing the Lunox into. Now Virtus.pro picks up the Phoveus. Again, this is a non-negotiable. Because unless they're willing to ban the Phoveus in red 4 and 5, then Rare Atom will be picking it. They still don't have a decisive XP laner, and whenever you have an Arlet, you're almost burying your Arlet 3 feet into the ground. Like that's a half-lost battle in the XP lane.
Yeah, and I think this time around, I think this is quite the gamble here right now for the side of Virtus.pro. Now that we have shown both the Arlet alongside with the Phoveus, we know that Phoveus can only go into one lane. The question is, how many bans are they going to commit to counter picks, right? Are they going to get rid of the CC? And then we cut back over to Rare Atom. They see the Arlet. There's a decent amount of raw crowd control. Therefore, we need to get rid of the Fredgen, right? And then Rare Atom, if they end up picking up the CC, it might just compromise their own composition because who is going to frontline?
There's no real front line. As it is standing for Rare Atom, the Cho is a pick-off tank. It's mainly used for checking bushes, picking off specific targets. Like he can't peel the way a natural frontliner can. They do take out the Fredrin. Again, they know that that's what Andoryu wants to play. And what's left for Andoryu? They can still pick an assassin here. I think that's still safe. You're just a very high velocity lineup. Like you also lack the traditional peel, but you also just want to win early.
I'm trying to think. Is there a jungler, an assassin jungler that has some kind of CC to enable the Arla while providing enough damage? I'm thinking Ling, but like the earlier stages is where it's going to get really rough, and you're playing it into the Cho. So again, there's got to be a lot of faith in Andoryu to be, hey, your Way of the Dragon, my Blade Tempest, we'll see which one's going to come out first.
Just a moment for Suyo to show up.
Ooh.
Because there's only really the Lunox.
Yeah. Oh, but then
I think Lunox's damage profile and the way she dishes out her kit, maybe Suyo can live through. Again, we haven't seen a Suyo all wild card long.
Yeah, but keep in mind, I mean, Suyo has, the changes to Suyo, he doesn't do well into the magic style of matchups, right? He does really well into the attack damage style. Oh, Granger, they're going to hold it up. I think they're considering it.
It's possible. They got to dig deep.
Hayabusa ban, Esmeralda, Lapu bans on their side.
Lancelot is the only premier current meta jungler left.
Yes, and even then, all right, first, let's look at the picks, right? Because Rare Atom, they're going to find their counter pick into the Granger at the very least with the Irithel, but they have to finish off their composition, and there's no real frontline tank in terms of like raw burst. Oh, okay. So it's going to be EXP Hilda this time around, expecting VP to actually play the assassin.
And still that doesn't answer the question of peel. I don't think they want to peel. Rare Atom also want to go fast. Very dynamic, much like their comp in game number 2. Now Virtus.pro, it's on them. What do they throw onto Andoryu? What can the Nightmare do here in this situation now that the momentum has shifted over to the Chinese squad? Again, it's either team going to championship point if they win game number 3.
Currently dead even 1-1 with 15 seconds left on the clock. A lot to consider here, but it looks like it's going to be the Lancelot as their final lock-in for the side of Virtus.pro. And Andoryu really has to play out of his mind. He's got to deal not only a lot of damage, but dodge a lot of the damage being pumped out by Rare Atom.
So what's the play here? Run through the Hilda, run through the Cho, threaten the kill on the Irithel, I-frame through her basics, try to kill and duel against the Yi Sun Shin. This, we rarely see a lukewarm red 5 last pick. This is one of those times.
I think they're banking on level 2 here. I think they're trying to bank on maybe level 1 or level 2 in the mid lane for the mid lane duos to try and make something happen, right? Cho's going to clear that wave super, super fast, but if he gets hit by a singular stun, and wait, hold on, we need to see the emblems first. What is this Arlet bringing to the table?
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 3. Both teams at a point apiece. Momentum definitely going the way of the Chinese squad. Rare Atom. Can Virtus.pro quell them and turn the tides? Welcome to game number 3. We know that this is a Rome Arlet, but what is he rocking? We can see Brave Smite, but what else?
Yeah, again, Pluto's thinking about the later stages of the game. He's not thinking about like even contesting that mid initially, right? Second weird thing is the fact that Bobber decided to go towards purple buff rather than help to leash on the orange. But here comes Andoryu on top of the Litho Wanderer, secures it for himself. We're taking a slower approach from the side of Virtus.pro.
Talking about Pao Fu, he did take a while to take off yesterday. Did win, but again, such is the way for a Lunox. You are still scaling. Pluto jumping in. Cat 9 obliges, putting Pluto down to a third of his health. sending him home. That's a technical knockout.
Yep, that's going to be an early recall. At least he doesn't lose out on his flicker. Let's look at the emblems at the end of the day. Ooh, Wilderness Blessing wants to have some extra adaptive attack as well. Bad caught. Very early T2 boots already purchased, knowing that the majority of the damage coming in from Rare Atom is going to be from the attack damage side and basic attacks, except for Powerful. But then again, really, can you really protect yourself against a Lunox in the late game?
Yep, rocking that Rupture, extra penetration, and the Wilderness Blessing with an Assassin emblem. So Powerful means business. Powerful looking to make the most of the newly adjusted mechanics on the Ruby, on the Lunox, making it easier to pull off a Ruby DD, some might say.
I see where you're coming from, but right now, Powerful, he's got to be careful, right? A singular death is going to slow him down significantly, and Lanaya already finds Pluto as first blood achieved. Bobber looking to turn Powerful into Dust Traction Pulse as well, but not going to commit fully. Now, Andoryu getting chunked down by Dawn. Somebody peel for him. Somebody get him out of there. But Backcon to set it up so that he gets right on top of Lanaya. Bobber, he needs to reset this, and Andoryu secures the turtle. Powerful, the next to fall. Badcott has made his statement. Dawn takes the trade onto Andoryu.
He's not done. Badcott wants Dawn too. Dawn goes serving up a kill to Pluto. He's a bad man. Badcott turning that situation around.
2-3, the current score in the first 3 minutes of the game. Crazy how fast that these teams want to struggle for the lead. Oh, whoa, hold on, Pluto. Where is he going to go? Where is he going to go? He's already used his mark. He's going to get kicked in now. Mikey secures the kill.
Mans didn't have a flicker. I mean, it's one thing to be a nuisance, but I don't know if his life at this point in the game is worth it to bother Lanaya like that.
I agree.
It was so easy to punish him.
But it's information is information, right? Oh, Bubber, he's in trouble. Oh my goodness, he gets locked down. He locks down Powerful just in time. He was about to die there. Quickly jetpacks away. He's got to be careful. Powerful is working with 2 ults.
The Nightmare commits Grand Theft Purple. He is indeed guilty. And there's nothing Rare Atom could do. You know what? I think at the end of the day, that's what Pluto was trying to go for.
Oh,
he was trying to distract Rare Atom, send him over down to that lower quarter so that there wouldn't be enough time for Rare Atom to stop Andoryu from getting that purple. This allows Rare Atom to, again, make up for a kill, try to get there, but it's still 1,000 between them.
I mean, the only person who's unhappy with that decision is Super Gorka. He's going to see Mikey come back with an extra 300 in the bank, and he's like, sure, I guess I just won't interact for now. And honestly, he shouldn't be interacting in the first place, right? He needs to stay healthy. Mikey has already gotten his first item, which is great for him, and Super Gorka is just looking at it. All right, I'll just take my time. Bad caught. On the other hand, though, Dawn, he's been doing a very good job at keeping Badcott. The Indonesian Hilda has been terrorizing the world for such a long time, and Dawn, no exception.
Oh, on a 1v1 scale, he can dominate, but against 3!
And now here comes Cat9 to try to get involved. The Darkening coming up Powerful. He gets pulled in by the traction pulse. Cat9 gets a good kick as they try to turn this around. Powerful is left out to dry. Virtus.pro finds another kill, but it's not over just yet. Lanaya is forced to back away. He wants it. Retreat's too early. He gets out of there, and now Cat9 must suffer the consequences for the mistake of his jungler.
And that allows Virtus.pro to keep going. Pluto jumps in, flickers.
No follow-up.
For the thrill of it, Virtus.pro, again, they could have gotten punished, but they're holding on to their lead here. About 3,000 gold now.
I thought Pluto was, I thought not only Pluto, but Badcard was going to flicker forward to try and capitalize on it.
But Pluto did.
But Pluto did. Badcard said, yeah, I'm not losing the lead just yet. Let's unlock Super Gorka.
I'm a bad man, but I'm not crazy. Oh, there's the War Axe onto Badcott right now, and because of the forward momentum from Virtus.pro, in whatever part of the map that they find advantage in, they get themselves a massive lead, lane per lane, everywhere they're going. Cat9 wanting to close the gap already. Was that a conceal?
That was a conceal.
This early on unlocked.
I mean, it's a lot of assists coming in from Cat9's side, right? And not to mention, especially coming in from Pluto, he also secured a kill for himself, so that really speeds up the process. At the end of the day, though, Pluto, he's trying to be effective with his abilities, right? That's why you're seeing him just throw out final slashes into wide brushes by that mid lane to guarantee some safety for his team.
6 minutes in, and I can already tell you this is a very different Virtus.pro. Number one, Badcott, he is an impact player. He's on his signature Phoveus, no longer a random Uranus, just again, a chunk of meat that kind of deals you damage. And as well, Bober now actually picking fights that he can afford to pick fights because Pluto can help him back dudes off with the final slash, not just the glorious pathway that slows him down but doesn't really stop him.
Yep, it doesn't stop him at all. And honestly, considering that they haven't dropped the ball in the earlier stages of the game and actually trading up, this works in favor of Virtus.pro compared to game number 2, where just no winning situations, they died early, and then you just got snowballed out of control. The next turtle spawns. Keep in mind, Cat 9 has his ult and a flicker available.
Turtle already started here by Andoryu. That's a huge presence by Virtus.pro here. All 5 near the turtle. Nothing Rare Atom could do. They are trying to set up for a push up top, but there's a quick rotation from Virtus.pro. Was that a final slash?
Okay, it was a final slash and also a phantom execution. Oh, backward tries to flicker forward. Does actually secure the kill onto Lanai with the help of Andoryu, and now everybody else looking to collapse upon him. Badcott is going to take his lead, and he's going to run it through Rare Atom's throat. Dawn, he's trying to hold on, but it's too late. Super Gorka secures the kill.
The least they could have done was a push. Top lane does fall. Rare Atom scores that. But the rest of the map belongs to Virtus.pro. Game number 2 was so not VP. Here now they're pushing the volume up to 11.
Yeah.
They're cranking it out. They're, what, 4,000, 5,000 up now?
They are getting into dangerous territories of a lead. 5K already achieved. If they get 5 more, it's that checkmate angle, similar to what we saw from Rare Atom in the previous game. In those final moments, they already achieved that 10K lead, and they could basically do whatever they want.
Oh, this is a sign, a very bad sign for things to come for Rare Atom. Bober has already gotten his Holy Crystal 2nd item, and he is up about 2,000 gold from Powfu. 2-0 on this Lunox. There are difficult games. This is more than just difficult for Powfu. I've seen him try to pull off that combo. Didn't do it even once.
I mean, he's not the only problem they got to worry about. Andoryu is getting very close to completing off. He just couple of components off actually from an endless battle. Not to mention he's 2 levels ahead of Lanaya. He is starving him out of the jungle while Super Gorka 3rd item complete. It's a very big power spike, and not to mention he got a Sky Piercer after the Hunter strike, so therefore he's hunting for heads. He's the cleanup crew that Virtus.pro needs, which is why Badcott, he's so greedy on his builds. Those war axes, loves it.
Conceal on Cat 9 finds Andoryu. Final slash, the tip misses, but still that's enough. The fact that the full combo wasn't there. Rare Atom sent to the hills running.
They're chasing. They're chasing. Already the brilliance is already out. Pluto is going to try and keep on top of them. Badcott is getting slowed down, and Bobbers, well done, is able to hold back 2 to save the lives of his members, trading EXP for support.
Couple of flickers spent as well. The Purify on Bober. Virtus.pro, I think this is still a green light. Again, it was but a speed bump, but they are still going to get the Lord here unless... What is Lanaya thinking? He has no Mountain Shocker. Couldn't even contest. At least, you know what? I'll tell you now, this is a good call by Rare Atom. If they tried to contest, they would have gotten punished.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think at this point, Rare Atom just has to take the hits, right? They gotta wait for their timings. They gotta wait for Mikey to get his 4th item, and then they can really start doing stuff. For now, I mean, Dawn, if he has to sacrifice his life and trade 1 for 1, that's probably the best scenario they can get.
I think that's the way. Just keep sending Dawn to check bushes, make sure that the coast is clear, get key resources on Mikey. I dare even say on Lanaya. Let Powfu deal with the stragglers. Let Powfu deal with those who will overextend, because you can't expect Virtus.pro to make mistakes, not at this point in the game, at such a crossroads. Popped that holy defense in mid. Bottom lane still standing. Top lane as well.
Super Gorka! The darkening comes through, and Powfu finds it. 3-man G Kundel, but Cat 9 will get his ult out just in time to hit Pluto. Mikey has to run. Phantom Execution already out. Thorn Rose doesn't connect either, and Mikey is still alive. Mid inhibitor now getting attacked by Bober. He's going to take his time as we see that the holy defense is breaking on all fronts. This might be 2 inhibitors, unless Mikey has something to say about it. Dawn, he's taking some space. Virtus.pro say, you know what? Mid inhib, good enough. Let's back away.
No HD. All these turrets standing on their own feet. A wave left alone could mean permanent damage to Rare Atom. They already have their mid lane penetrated. Virtus.pro, that's what I'm saying. sometimes there are random parts of their lineup that are just left overextended. And I think that's because they knew that they were winning. Again, I wouldn't blame them. I would do the same if I was 6,000 gold ahead. But Powerful, you cannot deny the killer instinct on this young man. He only has 2 items, and he was able to do that to Super Gorka. Although that might be a blessing in disguise for Virtus.pro because there were so many resources left up top to try and save Powerful. He did survive, but Cat9 fell. So, again, the intent was there, but Virtus.pro still got what they wanted. They got the push in mid and pop the holy defense down bottom.
Now the question is, what kind of space do you want? Knowing that your opponent has a concealed Dawn is going to open up this map and foreshadow how Virtus.pro is looking for. And Doryu even going for a Phantom Execution into blind bushes, knowing that they're going to be on this side of the map. Rare Adam give up the space. Now this is what we call high-level play.
Game sense. Virtus.pro, they were sending resources where they were sniffing Powerful out, and they were right for about a second there, but Powerful read the room and said, you know what, this is not worth it. I tried to do it against Super Gorka earlier, and that might have been a fluke, but now the conceal, they spot Dawn. Badcott jumps in on him.
They want to punish. Dawn forced the flicker out of there, and Doryu, I mean, he doesn't mind just throwing out that Phantom Execution. It's on a very short cooldown, but look at Powerful's position, right? Every single time we see Rare Adam actually take the space, they just plant it. Did he cancel it? Oh my goodness, he's open, and they see him. Powerful now running out in the open. He needs Cat9 and Dawn to keep him alive. They protect him, and Virtus.pro, they call it. They saw the conceal actually coming through from Cat9's side. Both sides, the push and pull. This is such a dangerous moment.
They saw it, they heard it. Mikey gets spotted by Pluto here, flushing him out of that brush. Now the dance begins. Lord standing, bad caught, pushing back too. Gets caught by a kick here. Cat9 not pressing the button just yet.
That's flicker. It's good, right? Virtus.pro, they should have a green light to make this happen, but they're going to take it safe, right? Wait for the waves to actually stop pushing through, get a little bit more information because it's all about finding that pick.
Now they got eyes on Powerful. They don't want that last engage he got on Super Gorka to happen once again. Super Gorka making himself scarce, man. He's putting a wall of bodies and actual structure between him and Rare Adam. He knows how important it is for him to live. Now Powerful holding that long brush. Andoryu already using his Phantom Execution. Do they know? Mountain Shocker.
And now they're going to go in. The Turtle Ball is going to be thrown in as they go. Andoryu takes the Lord first, but Powerful finds Bobert. And now Mikey, he's trying to attack that back line. And Virtus.pro, they quickly shift back. This is a not the worst situation for Rare Adam. They caught Bobert, and this might allow them to protect themselves against the Lord.
That's right. This is not by any means a consolation prize, a participation prize. No, they are happy to take out Bober because now that the Lord is pushing, they're lacking one major siege tool. That Kimmy that sprays out wonton magic damage. So I think Rare Adam survives another day here.
They should, but let's see how he plays. The kick comes through. Cat9 gets on top of Super Gorka, but nobody to follow up. They're just trying to delay as much as possible. Cat9, please, you can't die here. The Turtle Ball is going to be thrown as well to clear the waves. And Badcott, he's decided, no, I'm done with this. There's nothing else we can play for right now.
A successful defense by Rare Adam. They indeed do live, whether it be through the fact that Bober wasn't there, or that Cat9 knew exactly the limits of his kit. Allow for a big final slash!
He makes it happen. He's trying to get underneath. Traction Pulse as well as they attack the back line. Bobert put down to 1 HP as Andoryu looks to dash. I was worried about that. I noticed Pluto, he had his flicker available. He tried to make the plays, but everybody who needed to get caught by the final slash had iframes, had CC immunity to dodge it.
And mind you, Mikey was way out of range, didn't even need to purify. He found the flank, threatened the kill on multiple members of Virtus.pro, and that sent Virtus.pro packing. Although this huge sequence in the top lane did allow for passive pushing down bottom, so Rare Adam lose their bottom lane inhibitor as well. Only one safe lane left. Luckily, again, some way, somehow, glass half full, Rare Adam, it's the long lane, so it takes care of itself.
Exactly. Rare Adam, I think they were aware of it. They're willing to sacrifice an inhibitor to make sure that the long lane is something that they don't have to worry about and can manipulate into their favor. And even Virtus.pro, they recognize this. They're like, okay, sure, we'll take the structure. I'm sorry, Pluto, that you had to die and lose your flicker out for this, but now this is where it gets really dangerous because the river line, that's where you're expecting blood to touch the water.
And again, I think Virtus.pro is going to play the same way they did, trying to flush out Powerful. And now the 16-minute mark, Powerful can't stand in random bushes anymore. The fact that you have one key wave clear missing means your base might be in jeopardy as you try to set up for a pickoff, which might not even be worth it anymore. Virtus.pro, oh, they get spotted here. Mountain Shocker.
Beautiful, beautiful use of the Magic Sentry here, as well as the Mountain Shocker to double confirm, because Rare Atom, they've got to split on two sides, right? Now, Lanaya on that bot side gets an initial free push while the Lord is about to spawn in 12 seconds. However, Conceal, come through, Dawn spots it out, beautifully done in the final slash onto Cat9. He flickers out and Conceal, resources utilized, but this should guarantee that Virtus.pro is ready to fight around the Lord.
And all Virtus.pro spent were ults with cooldown. Powfu gets flushed out by Pluto and bad caught. Here comes Cat9 to the rescue again. He does not have a conceal nor a flicker. This is difficult for our Adam. I think Virtus.pro know the length of their advantage. Again, now it's struck. Oh, they catch Lanaya!
And that is it. The nail that they were looking for to guarantee this Lord and to try and end this game. Virtus.pro, they're going to have a no contestation for this Lord. And you can see that even Andori just double checking these bushes. Got to be safe. Doesn't want this 0% chance to turn into a 1% chance of a steal.
Gideon, they're threatening to kill on Dawn. He does flicker out. How was Lanaya caught out? We caught the tail end of that sequence, but
what happened?
What
Pluto
happened?
flickered, final slash.
That's it?
Followed it up, and now another kick on that Andoryu. Powfu gets taken out as Magorka trades against Cat9. The worst possible scenario for Rare Atom has finally fallen into the hands of Virtus.pro.
and they might not even need to wait for the Lord as Dawn gets popped by Super Igorka. And that's Mikey up next. Lanaya left to defend.
That's it. That's it. The final play here. Virtus.pro didn't have to do that much. Rare Atom, unfortunately, punished for looking for space.
Virtus.pro at match point. 2-1. What a recovery from game number 2. Now this is what we were expecting.
That was honestly a very high-level game. Both sides understood exactly, and they maintained, min-maxed their resources, the use of Magic Sentry, while still using Mountain Shocker. You thought it was a waste. No, it's to allow Lanaya to get a free push down on the bottom side without getting punished.
Even with their backs against the wall, Rare Atom knew how to use the tools that they had to try and claw their way into a win, but something tells me their eyes were bigger than their stomach. I think they jumped the gun and skipped a few steps and thought, we can do this, right? And forgot that a flicker was off of cooldown on Pluto and got punished hard. I think we'll see it somewhere here in the replay because, again, it happened within like a span of a second.
It happened too quick. The chain CC was just a little too good, right? The Traceless is a great spell, especially since now that they've changed a little bit, that you also get a little bit of a crowd control immunity when you come out of the Traceless animation.
But
in it,
or before you click it,
you gotta be fast, right?
Fair game.
It's fair game. We did see Lanaya actually dodge some final slashes, but it's a game of probability. Eventually, you're gonna slip up.
You throw out several number, one of them is going to catch you, and it sucks that it came in right when the Lord was fresh for the taking. This is the 10-minute mark here. This is the attempt of Powfu successfully at that to take down Super Igorka. And here, they flush out Powfu, and this is the cleanup crew here.
Mikey, look at Mikey's positioning, right?
Yeah, this is fine. They get to defend here still.
It's beautiful, right?
This one! Oh!
There we go. It was the final slash, and then the follow-up with the CC, and it's just continuous chain. There's no animation opening, no frame to save him.
They did not see Pluto entering from that river brush.
Oh, look at that.
Super Igorka is cold, man. He's cold. He's cold. He didn't even break a sweat. We're all sweating now because we don't know what's going to happen. Game 4 could end here.
It could end here. We're already at match point. I'm really excited for this because initially I thought, they're testing it out, but now we're getting into the high level of play. We're getting inside of each other's heads.
Eterna, championship point for Virtus.pro.
Man, I'm sweating. I don't know what stage they're on, but for us, it's hot, and it could get even hotter if Rare Atom has a say in this, right? Who knows? They force it all the way to game number 5, putting everything up to the test. But reflecting back on the few games that we've seen between these two, I think it all comes down to allowing the players with that instinct for playmaking to have the playmaking tools. Because in this particular game, I know you guys will have opinions on this, but in this particular game, I think Dawn on the Hilda just wasn't it for me.
It wasn't it? Okay.
There was pressure
All right.
from the Hilda in the early game.
On
We
Antonio,
saw it.
Yeah.
But usually we see that Dawn dominates so much, and when he's given heroes that can create opportunities for the rest of the team, that's when things get good in the team fights for Rare Atom. Because for me, Mikey did a really great thing on the Iritel, but let's say it was facilitated a little bit more. I think they could have gotten a lot more value on Mikey.
I think that is fair, but I think as much as Dawn given not exactly the greatest tools in the world, utilize it for the team very often, right? Powerful would have not gotten the space if it wasn't for Dawn and as well as Cat9 to kind of pave the way for him, right?
I think that is a chicken and the egg situation. Like
Yeah.
if it wasn't the Hilda, then the Lunox wouldn't have gotten here, right? But if it wasn't the Lunox, then there wouldn't even be a chance to threaten Super Igorka or Bober because he got one of them each a time. One apiece. So what I'm saying is, if all of these get a check, right? If all of these get, if ideally, some way somehow, Coach Raizan is able to put heroes that are game changers on Dawn, on Paufu, then there's so much that means so much was left open as well for Coach Solo.
I mean, they've got to snap their backs here, just break them in half at this point, right? They got to make the statement, make them scared to take space.
They
There's a
have
lot
to
of
break
things.
their own patterns.
Exactly.
It's too
exactly.
simple.
There's a lot of things to consider, and things are getting even more complicated, right? Variable after variable after variable. And because of that, we are going to allow our players a little bit of breathing time before we get into potentially the final game in the grand finals. And with that, we'll see you after this break. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere.
This land is calling.
We're back here at the Wild Cards MSC Grand Finals Championship point for Virtus.pro of EECA, and potentially we could be looking at the final game if they get their way. Welcome once again to the English broadcast with me, Eterna, as your desk host, and over here are casters Leo as well as Gideon. Now, boys/men, predictions before we get into the next game.
Ooh, I have to say...
We say it together.
We say it together
On three. 1, 2, 3, Virtus.pro.
Wow.
I mean, they are a cut above the rest, and right now, I got to give it to Rare Adam, though. As much as I'm singing the praises of what EACA is capable of producing, and somehow Virtus.pro being able to foresee that this team can go the distance, Rare Adam had some extremely intelligent moves in the previous game, showing that they are capable of playing at a high level, like an extremely high level.
Yeah, despite us being unanimous in seeing Virtus.pro move up to the group stage, winning this best of 5, the grand finals of the wild card, there is something to be said about Rare Adam. They're very commendable, and it's clear that they put so much hard work into honing each other's individual skills and bridging those strengths into possible plays, whether on the back foot or when they're ahead. Because I'll tell you now, Rare Adam is a better team on the back foot than Virtus.pro is.
That's actually a really good point here. We saw every move that we made in that previous game, and the fact that Pao Fu was able to not only sneak his way in, Virtus.pro was still able to adapt. They started thinking, that cannot happen again. We gotta start, bushwhacking every single time.
Yeah, they were threats. They were still real threats even when they were down like 8K, 9K.
So this is a silly thing to say, and of course it's going to be harder than we put it, but does this mean that all Rare Adam needs to do right now is to find a way to claim control over the early game?
That's one way to do it. It's going to need a very specific draft. You're going to have to dupe and dupe again. You have to confuse Coach Real Solo and Virtus.pro because that's what they did in Game 2. And that's the only time we saw that happen in this series.
I think a big problem that we're seeing continuously, this Kimmy needs to go. It is a very highly efficient hero for these EECA members. Let's take it out of the equation and force the traditional mages where you actually have to wait for decent item power spikes rather than on a base kit that allows you to win the early game for free.
So ban
it. Get
Ban
rid of it.
All right, let's get rid of the Kimmy as we enter the drafting phase for, again, potentially the final game in the grand finals. Leo, Gideon, take it away.
Potentially the last time we see Virtus.pro face off against Rare Adam. Game number 4. Virtus.pro on the play. We did allude to this, that maybe Rare Adam needs to be on the red to be able to, for sure, say, let's ban the Kimmy. We can't give it to Bober anymore. Don't even risk it getting flexed on Super Gorka. We're about to find out. Coach Real Solo banning out the Baksha and the Zitian, while Rare Adam takes out the Farsa and the Kalia. This is expected. Like, we've seen these bans.
We've definitely seen these bans, and it's a constant reminder of where the meta is slowly heading towards, but more so how these teams have utilized it to influence their opponents. I also think that this Phovius ban is good, bad caught. Oh my goodness, when he has a lead and gets that War Axe on a Phovius, dude, it feels like he doesn't make too many mistakes.
He's a bad, bad man. I'll tell you that. Virtus.pro doesn't pick the Kimmy as it seems like Rare Adam was allowing them to. Instead, goes for the Yusun Shin first.
Why change the order this time? Why look to change it in this way?
Bad God's cold. Look at that man. Look at that man throwing up that Korean heart. Look at that man.
He knows it. He's just sending a little bit of love before I put you 6 feet under.
Before all the baddies about to commit. All right, Rare Adam. So many heroes open, actually. Again, the aforementioned Kimmy. If they want to commit the Cho now, they can do that. Or maybe not. If you go either way, you want to leave one or the other.
Ideally so, but I think that Rare Adam are probably thinking about this like, man, what do we do at this point, right? We've seen the power picks coming up from the side of VP, but again, they think Kimmy is super manageable, right? We get into that back line. We have the potential answer in Mikey if we can force out that Granger into the Irithel matchup. You might even get a free 2-for-1 in that case, but they're going to start things off with a Zushin on top of an Arlet. I'm thinking Fredrin is going to be the pick, and then you've got your 3.
But for Virtus.pro now, they got 2 here. Blue 2 and 3. Do they go Kimmy X?
Kimmy plus... Oh, whoa.
Long time no see.
Okay. I like this.
Kimmy Badang!
Kimmy, good pick. But the Badang, I think they're trying to make a hard read on Rare Adam, right? Because now that the Phoveus is gone, Arlet is basically uncontested in the EXP. And it can also be flex, to be fair. VP respond with their own flex pick, one that deals with Arlet pretty well.
And then Rare Adam closes up with a Hayabusa, so it's clear that in the jungle, it's Hayabusa versus Yushin. But let me just say this, while it's possible, I would rather it not, but the Kimmy and the Yushin can still flex. We've seen it before, I just rather not it happen now at the precipice of a possible series end.
Now, we haven't gotten to talk about this for a while, mainly because the wildcards have been alluding to it's just not good in the meta, or maybe teams just don't favor it, but a lot of these teams just completely disregard Fanny nowadays. And it's not like Fanny is bad or her changes have put her into the ground.
It's less about her.
It's less about her, yeah. But this time around, I don't think there's any flexible spot for them, except maybe for VP. But even then, there's no guarantee. You've got the RLO on one side and probably a couple of tanks coming down your way.
Yep, it's more about the environment we're playing in now that makes Fanny less favorable, despite her being a, on paper, mechanically broken hero. Bans now coming out. Rare Adam taking out the glue. Still no decisive XP laner for Virtus.pro here. They do ban out the Lucas. And then Rare Adam takes out the Cho. Although, interestingly enough, we haven't really seen Pluto play a Cho.
Yes, we haven't seen Pluto play the Cho, but I feel like if you are coming to a competitive space and you don't have Cho as a roamer, what are we doing here?
Yep.
It's like telling junglers, hey, I don't know how to play Fanny and you want to join a professional team. It's like, come on. You gotta have these as your base heroes. However, Lucas is an interesting call for the side of VP on the opposite end. It does elude maybe a triple marksman comp.
And then do they ban an Esmeralda? Because that just follows logic, right? You ban one of Don's heroes, you ban another instead of the Esmeralda, the Lapu-Lapu. So another easy entry to the back line.
I'm all for it here. The question is, what is the roamers going to play at this time, right? How are we going to try and turn this around? I feel for Rare Adam, Gatot actually isn't too bad.
Oh no, it's great, Gideon. It's one of those, again, easy access, confirmed reach.
High loss as well. Both are viable, mainly because of the Jushin.
Yes, but instead, Rare Adam allocate Red 4 to a Moskov. So they're denying Virtus.pro one of the best triple marksman configurations of the Yushin, Kimmy, and Moskov. So they're forcing the third marksman to either be an Irithel or a Granger.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Help. 1-1, good sir.
Yep, I think 1-1 even works out. Wait, hold on. Let me think
short
about
ranged.
She may be short ranged, but there's also the problem of just getting assassinated, like purely assassinated, right?
Yep.
You need to kind of rotate around you, but do they want to go with this type of configuration anymore, right? I think with the Hayabusa, there's already a lot of questions of whether or not you're going to be able to survive. So the Hilda gets locked in, the Granger gets locked in, they can clear, they can start bushwhacking from afar, but these tanks, they're not the preem tanks. They're not the real beefy boys. They're not concrete.
They're not hard peel. They are instead dynamic tanks. So now the question flips over to Virtus.pro. Previously it was Dawn on the Hilda. Now can Badcott do a better job to try and shake up the lineup and steer away the attention from his marksman? Away from the Yushin, away from the Kimmy, away from the Granger. Rare Adam, they put a old reliable pick on to the hands of Dawn, the Esmeralda, which is, again, if you can't tell by the way we react to it, it's going to get bursted down halfway through her attempt to try and peel.
But Esmeralda deals with both matchups, both Badang and as well as Hilda, decently well. Both are able to generate shields in the laning phase, but that's the thing, it's only in the laning phase. Her only other utility is her Falling Star mood to trigger more demonic marks for the vengeance of the Arlet. That's pretty much it, and that's assuming that they group up close enough to even get in the first place.
And that's assuming if you survive. Because again, there's a lot of firepower, a lot of artillery coming from Virtus.pro. It comes down to execution. It comes down to finding the windows of opportunity to make the draft you decided to roll up into the land of Dawn work. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 4. This is match point for Virtus.pro. Can Rare Adam take us all the way And can they make the quest for that last slot in the group stage ever more interesting?
Again, both sides need to be doctors with a scalpel. They must be precise with the way they dissect their opponents. Pluto immediately going straight for Powerful to try and close this out as soon as possible because, again, Bobert a little late to the wave, which is totally fine, right? Because, again, they will be able to trade back.
Kimmy is disgusting, I'll tell you now.
Ooh, okay, backcourt contesting for Litho Wanderer?
Her win rate is still through the roof. That one loss in game 2 doesn't change the fact that she's still possibly sitting at 80% with such high sample size too. The XP lane though, again, look at this. A minute in, and Badcott can already run around like this.
He gets to do it for free for now. Well, looks like we have to call in a technical pause for the time being. Oh, for those out there, I'm already feeling it. I can feel myself getting emotionally drained, trying to figure out and trying to get into the heads of Rare Adam and even Virtus.pro. This is a high stakes match.
I'd like to think Rare Adam are confident and they're going off of reps. They're going off of the fact that we've fought against mid lane Kimmy so much already. We can't let this keep getting us. And the gold lane matchup, I'll tell you now, if there are big rotations coming in from Lanaya, again, he's on a Hayabusa, right? You can bully a Moskov up to a certain point. I think this is where you start now. Don't even bother with the XP, because again, the hill is going to leave it more often than not. So don't try to play for Esmeralda like that. Instead, play for the Moskov. Rather, play for the Granger. Play for your strong side.
Or even attack the mid lane. It really just boils down to where does the roamers play a part in this ever-growing story, right? It's always that dual mid lanes. It's come to a point where mid lanes and even roamers don't even bother leashing for their junglers anymore because that's how much control you need for small objectives, whether it just be River Crab or even Litho Wanderer.
Which is an optimistic way to look at this matchup. Again, despite Virtus.pro being at match point, this game 4 is still up in the air. I'd like to think that that mid lane matchup is still currently a 50-50. No one has decisively won or lost just yet, which is impressive because again, you're looking at a Kimmy. Again, I was looking at that first couple of engagements, first couple of sequences, like, Kimmy is disgusting. But Palfu's holding his ground.
Palfu's doing a good job.
Cat9 is giving Pluto a run for his money. He's like, yeah, sure, you have Vengeance procs already, but I have Vengeance procs already, but I can send you back as home just as quickly.
Yeah, getting a bit of personality from the Nightmare and Doryu. He can't pull off a light, unfortunately. He's too young for that. He's too young for that for now. But now Badcon's going to give his own. Wait, I'm just going to look over the stage, see if he commits to it. Yeah, to a degree. Was seeing a bit of a smile crinkle up at the very end. It's hard, dude. Not everybody can stare at the camera like that.
Yeah, no, he saw that our production staff was moving away. Our shooters were moving away, so he's like, I'll get you next time.
Next time it is. But when we're looking at Rare Adam, I'm more concerned about whether or not they find the opportunities to turn this around. Because so far, VP has been almost airtight within their early to mid game.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the main strengths of Virtus.pro, save for what happened in game number 2. Again, I will always chalk that up to the draft. Rare Adam have to find that small window. They have to, again, I'm not even going to tell them to thread the needle. They should ram through that hole on the needle's tip to try and get Virtus.pro up against the wall, because I will die on this hill. Rare Adam are so much better when they're down, but Virtus.pro, when they're in the same situation, cannot fight back. They're not as good. So put them down like that. Step on their throats.
I mean, there's the big problem that we've seen with a lot of professional teams out there within our own leagues, within Southeast Asia and across the world. When a team is struggling and are looking to say, hey, we need to win early to mid, all of a sudden you go on red side, you start seeing red, you start doubling down on some awkward situations. Because at the end of it, right, even if you are struggling to fight, there is always a loss, even if you're like trading like 50-50, right? 3 die here, 3 die there. Oh no, somebody's missing out a wave. Somebody is missing out a timing.
And I think that's where Virtus.pro can still grow. They're not very good at trading. Not when they're crawling back up. They're so much better when the math is clear. It's black and white. I'm all pluses, baby. I'm multiplying my advantage here. So that is what I hope to see from Rare Adam if they want to go all the way here. If they want to force a game number 5. Flushing Bober out of that pixel brush. Pao Fu and Cat9, they're doing a great job despite Andoryu and Bad Caught being global presences here. Looking at the emblems.
Oh, okay. Mikey's not even bothering to go for the Master Assassin. Andoryu, he's going to guarantee land the Turtle Ball, and that's first blood almost instantly for Andoryu, catching out Cat 9.
And what's painful is Cat 9 committed the flicker, so he was hoping to not die. He really wanted to hold on to that mid lane advantage. So now the scales tip slightly over to Virtus.pro, if ever, so dominantly towards Virtus.pro, now approaching 1,000 gold lead. More on Mikey's emblems. Gideon, you're right. Again, a clear sign that they want to win the early. They're putting this economic advantage on him. Dawn gets caught out. Still no level 4.
He's intercepted. Backcourt is trying to peel away Lanaya, and he chunks him down with the Master of Power Wildness here, but he goes so deep, and alongside with the Arlet, they take him out. They trade Backcourt for the Turtle. Was this worth it?
Yeah, that's the question. A part of us think it's bad, especially since it did not affect the gold lane as much, and he spent the sprint. What was the best case scenario? Cat 9 gets caught again!
Again, he's going to try and outplay the scenario, but eventually he will fall. He doesn't have enough resets to work with, not enough cooldowns to make it effective. And now we do see that Don forced out to use his vengeance early on. Good play coming in from Endoryu's side, looking at an opportunity to punish his opponents. Because look at his jungle pathing, right? He's already cleared that bot side.
He's doing a lot of house cleaning, including Rare Adam's side of the jungle. Because again, look, Lanaya is level 5. I think at this point, Andoryu is on his way to level 7. So this is what you're getting through more dynamic lanes. The only real lane that I think Rare Adam can still ideally call a win is gold, but no, even Mikey is down on EXP there.
Yeah, what happened? I remember Mikey wasn't participating in the neutral objectives at all, but how does Super Yagorka have that much of a lead? He might have forced Mikey to recall while the fight was going on. Either way, it's a 2-1 lead currently for Virtus.pro. The gold in their favor. They're 1K ahead. And here comes the final slash onto Pluto's side. Doesn't get the correct target. Andoryu quickly uses his retribution on Cat 9. This should be a kill. Once again, the mistakes keep on happening. Andoryu punishes Cat 9.
And it's a deja vu of the very first blood. A flicker spent, yet a life unsaved. Cat 9 falls once more. And one might say, hey, he's a roamer. This is diminishing returns for Virtus.pro. No, that's less map presence for Rare Adam to finally try and use to clap back. This is the second turtle spawning. All the more I'm going to say this is a non-contest for the Chinese squad. Virtus.pro are 2,000 gold ahead. And the map is opening up wide for Virtus.pro.
Look at the lead. It's really starting to be evident, right? Super Gorka already a full level ahead, and not to mention probably has way more gold than Mikey. And I mean, Andoryu, the fact that he's killed Cat 9 twice, he's level 8 compared to level 6 on Lanaya. The pickup onto backcourt, sure, fine, but for now, just the raw control.
Yeah, these kills on Cat 9 or relatively any member that are non-cores for Rare Adam should be okay if Andoryu wasn't a core, if Andoryu wasn't a damage-dealing jungler. But he's a Yisunshin, he wants to scale, and he's scaling out of control. Another turtle scored for free.
And now a quick lane swap. They're realizing Mikey is outmatched in the lane. The resources being pumped to his side of the map, and now he jumps down to the bottom side and backcourt. He can't really deal with Mikey at this point in time, but neither will he die. So he doesn't mind this. He can take the damage. It's totally okay unless Cat 9 has something to say about it, but I don't think Mikey has enough damage to begin with.
I'd rather look at this from Mikey's lenses as I have time. It's less about I have to fight now, but I have time. He's not 1,000 away from Super Igorka, but a majority of the economic advantage is currently on Andoryu. He's 1,500 away from Lanaya. Despite Lanaya not dying, it's more of resource denial. And the map is so open. Oh no, Powerful gets caught, forced to use a Crimson Beacon back.
Oh, he gets out of there. He is out of there, but that is going to be an artery cut off. Structural damage on Rare Adam's side. Mid-tier 1, this means that Virtus.pro can now turn conversions into economic advantages by invading the jungle almost instantly after.
Kirin, is Virtus.pro that ahead, specifically Super Igorka? I just saw him build a Sky Piercer.
Yep.
Does he have a Hunter Strike already?
Yes, he does.
Sub 6 minutes?
He is literally, that's why Mikey had to go for the lane swap. He is getting outclassed in lane currently. Unfortunately, a mistake has probably costed a little too much, but now Palfoon as well as Cat9 are looking to alleviate that pressure.
Oh.
Final slash does not connect. Good movement from Badcott.
Badcott literally sidestepped the final slash, stood an inch away from Cat9. Now they catch Dawn.
This is not going well. The pressure's getting to Rare Atom, and Virtus.pro can feel the momentum. You can hear the steam train about to make contact with the wall.
The Bears can smell their group stage slot at this point. Rare Atom, Game 5 is slipping away. Andoryu checking out Lanaya. He doesn't know. Mountain Shocker plus the boot!
He's dead. Oh, he managed to survive with the help of... Wait, is he still gonna go down? No! Why did he take it back?
Lanaya tried to get the shadow plus shadow kill, but the basic attack on Andoryu was just so much faster. An off-roll turtle take. The map, all the kills, everything belongs to Virtus.pro.
For the first time in a while, we are seeing Rare Atom mentally start to crumble. They're making very silly mistakes right now in Virtus.pro. They're taking full advantage, 5-1 so far, a convincing lead.
Uncalled for, some of these decisions, choices.
God.
Mikey gets caught by the boat. Lanaya trying to save him. Shadow kill. Still holding on. Final slash as well. Expended plus the flicker. Oh, it's mass hysteria, Gideon. Everyone's caught it. They're all trying, and nothing's sticking.
They have to breathe. They have to breathe. They need to reset now. And Doryu, he's getting to do whatever he wants. He is trying to make sure that he can maintain this pressure. The Ogi Shadow Kill comes out, but it's a net negative at this point. It's going to be the Holy Shielding breaking, and even Badcott utilizing the break of the Holy Shielding to get out.
We are literally time traveling with the speed that Virtus.pro is going at. Mountain Shocker catches the backline. Pluto with a crack.
Dawn goes down. It's going to be an execute. Powerful finds Pluto as a trade, but Mikey finds Andoryu. A huge shutdown. This could be an opportunity to turn it around, but it's Super Gorka. He's still a little high in the terms of the economy. He's got the items, and Rare Atom decide, you know what? We respect it. We'll take what we can.
And how high exactly? About 2,000 between him and Mikey. As well, 2,500 between Andoryu and Lanaya. It should slow down now, given that he got shut down. A punish by Rare Atom. So we are slowly going back to normal speed. I could have sworn we were time traveling. Rare Atom got their holy defenses popped at 8 minutes, Gideon. That is miserable. Lord free. Without the Lord, that's how far Virtus.pro's pushed them. Now the question is, will Virtus.pro slip? Because those two kills, that trade for Dawn, that was uncalled for.
It was uncalled for. However, getting the first initial shutdown onto Andoryu is a start, right? And it went over to Mikey. And now it's a 2K lead for the side of Super Gorka against Mikey. If they can get another kill onto Andoryu, they should be able to recover.
You're right. It's still a grocery list of things to do to get the comeback. Dawn's flushed out of that river brush. Cat9 stops him. Powerful picked off.
And now the conceal comes on out. Cat9's got nothing else. Final slash comes out. Oh, wait, hold on. The RNG might fall in his favor as Cat9 almost taking out Super Gorka. And Dawn, he tries to chase it. He tries to go for the kill, but it's not enough. Even the SOD, nowhere remotely close. Bear is going to take him out. That's 3-0.
As shoddy as Rare Atom's decision-making is, Virtus.pro ever so sharp, as if it was still day one of the wildcard, as if they just woke up at instant replay. Once more, check it out. They caught Powerful first, and they dismantled everything. But my Pickens here. My commendations go over to Super Gorka. He could have just kept firing, but Dawn popped the vengeance. If Super Gorka kept on firing, he would have died.
He would have been in a lot of trouble. But at this point, now with the Lord in their hands, with a lead looking immense, 7K ahead for Virtus.pro, we now need to talk about the wave clear, because right now the only person who can clear the waves effectively is Mikey and maintain that trinity.
And that's what's miserable about the situation. That's what makes it look so grim for Rare Atom right now. Mikey, yes, has decent wave clear, but he has to position himself very specifically to pierce through. And that means putting himself within range of Virtus.pro CC, of Virtus.pro's engagements. Rare Atom, they can't rely on Paufu. He's about to get caught here. That is the traction being thrown out and the Lord wailing away. Mid lane gets pierced.
Oh, final slash going on towards Pluto. They find him. All right, they're trying to turn this around. Lanaya on top, but Andoryu takes him out with the Traceless. A single auto attack cutting Lanaya in half.
Weapons of mass destruction in the hands of Andoryu here. There's way too much burst. Dawn holding on for dear life, trying to clear this wave. They successfully keep bottom lane inhibitor.
Now there's another wave though. Super Gorka, he could try to make something happen. SOD comes out. He's not going to take it. It'd be too wild.
Don't.
Virtus.pro, they're like, don't worry, we still have the lead, dude. We are in the perfect position. First Lord, we already got an inhibitor. We're almost at the 10k gold lead. One more Lord, we finally get to write on your tombstone.
Virtus.pro mere minutes away from claiming their own key to join the group stage of MSC here at EWC. Rare Atom, they are clawing their way into a more, how do I say, contestable spot. Paufu built himself a Bloodwing, so he will be less burstable, more than he was here towards the purple side of the jungle earlier. Mikey has his Malefic gun. I don't know if that's enough. Again, it keeps you safer, but does that really push you over the top when it comes to damage?
Well, it may not necessarily push you over the top, but if the fight continues to go the way that we've seen it, if the fight drags out, Rare Atom has a chance.
It's more of a not lose than a we win. So they're several steps away from turning this around on Virtus.pro. Virtus.pro still clearly in control, up by about 8,000 gold, and they're playing for the Lord.
Best case, worst case scenario, right? Best case scenario for Rare Atom, they somehow steal away the Lord without losing anybody. Worst case scenario, they get the Lord, even if they have nobody get traded from the side of Rare Atom. It is almost a guaranteed losing scenario.
And stealing the Lord, as awesome as it may sound for all the Chinese fans watching, those who are roaring and hoping that Rare Atom could still turn this around, is impossible given the Mountain Shocker. You can't just plant Lanai in a random bush nearby and quad shadow to a Retribution steal. It's not going to happen, not on Andoryu's watch. And he does take it, building a Brute Force breastplate, allowing for himself to be a little more sustainable in these fights. Rare Atom have to defend.
Oh my goodness, the Lord Secure Insurance. They've got everything thought of here. Virtus.pro looking to try and close this game out. Lanaya, what a dangerous position. Robert, wait.
Badko can't save him.
Can he do it? Is he going to jump for it? No. He's going to hold back on this one. He might look to try and proxy that top wave. However, the Lord is starting to move down on that mid inhibitor, and Virtus.pro don't mind a traditional 5v5. It's going to be Pluto who initiates and goes right on top of Dawn. The final slash does come through.
There's the bow thrown out. The answer Bulber's down.
Doryu, he's gone now with the traceless. Mikey needs to try his best. Clear that wave. Clear that. Lord Pluto is the next to fall. They're holding strong. He has to make the play, and Mikey does. Takes the SOD. Turns this around.
Rare Atom successfully trading Cat9 for Bulber and Pluto, kicking Virtus.pro out of their base. It's not over till it's over.
Beautiful play coming in from Rare Atom. That was the push and pull that we were hoping for. And Cat9, despite the odds, will have the courage, the bravery to say no, not yet.
He has nothing to lose. He's died 5 times, a majority of this in the early game. But now at 14 minutes, with the enemies at the gates, nay, the enemies in your house, you throw all caution to the wind. And right now, his life was more than worth it. Looking at Mikey again, I'd say he was the hero of the situation because he was the one who single-handedly threatened the wipeout on Virtus.pro. Mountain Shocker, Virtus.pro wants to end this. They catch Cat9, but there's way too much range.
No. They're not going to do this. RA, there's no point in fighting. There is nothing to obtain on the map. You want to get gold, but naturally, if you just wait until the Lord comes, you will naturally hit the 42k mark just by letting the waves come to you.
So patience and understanding the dance. That is where Virtus.pro needs to understand Rare Atom is coming from. That is another point of attack Rare Atom can come from. And I don't think Rare Atom can afford another base fight. So yes, I'm with you. As risky as it sounds, clear the waves and contest. That's it. Like,
that's all they need.
You live and die on that hill, man. You contest even if you're down 8k.
You got it. You just got to try. But now, here's the next part of the puzzle, right? As much as Virtus.pro is ahead, they have the extra gold. And that extra gold can mean one of two things. One, completed items, and more importantly, situational items for those who are ahead. And Doryu, Winds of Nature, switching into a Winter Crown could turn the tide. Same goes for Bulbero as well. Looking at the damage profile from the side of Rare Atom, it's really the final slash that makes the difference.
The fact that Virtus.pro are about 2 or 3 tax brackets ahead of Rare Atom makes a difference. You're right. Super Gorka, I didn't even see if he's rocking a Wind of Nature because that'll totally nullify Lanaya and Mikey's threats. And aren't those the real threats? Because Powerful's more utility now. Powerful's more of a threat to Pluto and Bad Caught. They start up the Lord. They flush Dawn out of that wide brush. Lanaya spotted here. He's still holding his ground.
I mean, Cat 9 is trying to look for space. Traction Pulse being thrown out. SOD connects. Where are they going to go for with this? They try, and Doryu secures it no matter what. Pluto stops Lanaya from the entry. And now Dawn, he can take the damage 4 days here, but the Lord is in the hands of Virtus.pro. We now are seeing core items being complete for the side of Rare Atom. 43k. That's what they were looking for. But Mikey, oh, he's got the Winds of Nature and the Rose Gold Meteor. He sold his boots. I thought he only got one of them.
All right, almost a mirror build between these two marksmen. They are the linchpins of this strat. Again, say what you will about Bober dealing wanton damage to the front lines of Rare Atom. He has his Wind of Nature on the way. It really is on Super Igorka. It is on Doryu to be the artillery here to wipe out Rare Atom because, truth be told, besides Mikey, who else is free from the physical damage that Virtus.pro is dishing out? It's Bober who's only really dealing magic. He's there for more cleanup. Cat 9 pushing Bad Caught out. Dawn holding on. He does have his vengeance. Both thrown out.
Beautiful. Look at the way that they're playing this. Yes, this is what we need to see from Rare Atom. Powerful, he's got the damage with the glowing wand. And now they pull out Pluto, forcing his flicker. Now with Yogi Shadow Kill picks him up. Powerful secures the kill. Lanaya is out. And a successful base defense for Rare Atom for the 3rd time in a row.
Patience is a virtue that Rare Atom exemplified in these last moments. They're forcing the game to go the distance. We're approaching the 18-minute mark, and Rare Atom are ever more a threat than they ever were this whole game. And now they're looking for plays. Concealed by Cat 9, spotted by the Mountain Shocker. Bad Caught still here, holding on to his kit, and there's the boat thrown out. Oh, this is not a fight I think Virtus.pro wants. They don't have Pluto.
Yep, Bad Caught, he's going to get pulled back in Dawn. He can do this for days. He can absorb the damage. He finally has all the items he was looking for, and then File Slash comes through. Backline getting attacked, forcing out the Winds of Nature as Mikey takes out Bad Caught, and now Mikey SOD makes the play. Winds of Nature comes out. It's too late. Pluto is able to hold him to the ground. Dawn the next to fall, and Virtus.pro finally find 2 for 1 in trade.
As good as it is to find Bober, they failed to put the nail in the coffin and shut him down. Bad Caught, his life, oh so precious, worth it to trade for Dawn and Mikey. Gideon, something tells me Virtus.pro can smell victory.
No.
I'm thinking they're going for the end game.
They're going to try. Turtle Boat not going to be used. Forces out the Quad Shadows from Lanaya's side. As we can see, the Final Slash lands on all 2 of their members. Lantern Flare as well. Super Gorka tries to go for the end. Quad Shadow, and now even the Traction Pulse. There's no wave, but they do find kills. They traded 1 for 1, and the Lord is coming up in 20 seconds.
I'd reckon that's the Nightmare saying we should play for the Lord. Bad Caught just spawned. They lost Pluto in Super Igorka. Pao Fu taking a nap for this contest. I'll tell you now that this is the Lord. Despite the numbers advantage for Rare Atom and the map looking blue, I don't think it's clear who can take this.
No, but keep in mind, Virtus.pro are the ones that can hold Rare Atom hostage here. 2 missing inhibitors, all structures for Virtus.pro. They don't have to manipulate the waves. They just have to stop them from taking this Lord. And now Bad Caught, he's going to get pulled on backwards. And there's nothing much he can really do about this. However, Mikey, he's in trouble. He's getting cut down. It's too late. It's going to be the immortality already out as he tries to switch item. It's too late. He's down and out for the count.
And Doryu here, staying underneath the Lord. Cat 9 holding on for dear life. Coming in.
Lanaya, he's going to try. He steals the Lord in time. And now Doryu has to try his best. It goes down. Dawn is unstoppable.
It's just him and Powerful left. 2 marksmen from Virtus.pro still standing, ready to wreak havoc on the base because there's 2 defenders left. Rare Atom only have Dawn and Powerful. I don't think they can defend.
They've got to buy time. The Lord finally spawns at the 12th second, perfectly coming out in time. However, they're clearing the waves. Dawn, he's trying his best. He's on top of all 4, but Pluto locks him down, and Powerful must try clear that wave. Any means necessary. Almost there, but it's a just in time.
No minions!
Powerful turns it around. Bober closes it out, and there you have it. On the knife's edge, Virtus.pro come out as your winners.
2 slots for the ECA in the group stage of the mid-season cup here in the Esports World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, Virtus.pro take the series 3-1.
Oh my goodness. What a game that was. What a finale. What a finish here for the wild cards.
Getting as close as it was